Most High is my rock. I keep my Bible on top. The Most High is my rock. No time for cupcake and the cutling. Hit the streets and start cutting. The Israelites are bubbling. The Israelites are coming. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. You can keep the stuffing. It's pagan, disdain, it's vain, it's nothing. The European Union about to hit the button. And I feel sorry for you if you think the Lord is bluffing. That's why I hit the booth and I tell the truth. Are you fishing with the truth? Homie, where's your fruit? If the Most High is your rock, don't treat him like a side piece. Come in this truth plan and treat you like a side piece. He's the God of mercy and wrath. So do you want to fly or do you keep the Bible on cop? The Most High is my rock.
TK.
Rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. In the name of Messiah, the Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. Yeah. The Most High is my rock. I keep my Bible on top. The Most High is my rock. No time for cupcake and the cutling. Hit the streets and start cutting. The Israelites are bubbling. The Israelites are coming. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. You can keep the stuffing. It's pagan, disdain, it's vain, it's nothing. The European Union about to hit the button. And I feel sorry for you if you think the Lord is bluffing. That's why I hit the booth and I tell the truth. Are you fishing with the truth? Homie, where's your fruit? If the Most High is your rock, don't treat him like a side piece. Come in this truth plan and treat you like a side piece. He's the God of mercy and wrath. So do you want to fly or do you keep the Bible on cop?
Shalom Yasharallah. Shalom Yasharallah. Welcome to another class here with ISBHBK. We're located here in Houston, Texas. The school address is 8524 South Braesville Boulevard, Houston, Texas. Zip code 77071. Class times and days is from Mondays and Wednesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. Saturday morning, Shabbat morning class is from 10 a.m. to about 2 p.m. Sometimes it goes longer. Lots of times it goes longer. We also got a school in Virginia, and the school address out there is 2610 Granby Street, Norfolk, Virginia. Or Norfolk. However way you say it. The school address, the zip code out there is 23517. The class times and days out there is Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern time. Then we got the school in San Antonio, Texas as well. Their school address is 4444 Walsham Road, Suite 201, San Antonio, Texas, 78218. And also got the school in Albuquerque, New Mexico as well. If you like to watch us, we got many different avenues that you can watch us from. We got ISBHBK Norfolk, Virginia, ISBHBK Houston, ISBHBK San Antonio, ISBHBK ABQ. You can subscribe to all those YouTube channels. We ask that you subscribe to the Norfolk channel. Get those subscribers up to about 1,000. We're close to 1,000, but we need to get to 1,000 so that y'all can see that the brothers and sisters out there do be putting in work. The brothers do be going out street speaking, do be doing flyers. Y'all can catch that live as y'all catch our street speakings live here in Houston whenever it's not raining. We also got the 5 Minutes of Wisdom channel. Like, share, and subscribe. The Hidden Truth Bible Show, the Israelite Media Corp. We ask that you like, share, and subscribe. But Mashaba does the Blog Talk Radio from Tuesdays through Sundays. I don't think he does it on Saturdays, so it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. Mashaba does the Blog Talk Radio.
Yeah, Sunday through Friday.
So definitely check that out. It's a great way to start your morning. Israel Wear is back to accepting orders. And we do have a subscription through the Israel Wear called Fringe Up. So for $30, you can get you a nice shirt every month. For $30, you can get you a nice fringed shirt every month. That's if you subscribe to the Israel Wear. And the shirt will come with a nice design. You'll get a new custom-made shirt every month, pretty much. And if you do the $75 subscription, you'll get the custom shirt and a nice headband. So definitely that matches the shirt. So just throwing it out there. It's an easy way to get your shirt game up, get your headband gear up, and all it is a little subscription. You know, subscribe, you can get it done. And you can subscribe to that at isbhbk.com/IsraelWear. Israel-wear. I think that's a hyphen. And if you'd like to reach any of the priests, we got Priest Kwata Zat to my far left. His number is 303-557-8979. And we got Priest Kazaki out there in Norfolk, Virginia. His number is 281-707-2737. Again, we ask that you text only during class. But if you need any counsel, you need any advice before you make a move, or any questions about anything, you can definitely hit up one of the brothers. We ask that you support our business. The business is sweetambiance.com. Get you some nice soaps, fragrance, candles, whatever, bath salts, anything that deals with the scents, man. Check us out. Man, excuse me. Definitely check us out.
Is that AC?
Huh?
Is that AC?
Yeah. So the AC is back up and running. So, you know, we'd like to say Tawada to all the brothers and sisters that helped out with getting the AC back up and running. The school's not 95 degrees anymore. The school is back to being, what is it? 73, 75.
They just
The
got it
school's
back
back.
on. It's still 90 in here.
No, I'm not so a fan, so I'm feeling good. But on a real note, though, we would like to say Tawada to everybody that gave to help fix the AC in the school. Tawada. And we'll also like to give a Tawada to everybody that's been given to the school and helping to keep the schools open through this coronavirus. You know, with our businesses being closed down and everything. So we'd like to say Tawada to y'all for helping out, you know, with the ISBHPK Houston, the ISBHPK Virginia schools. And even if you send something to San Antonio or Albuquerque, we'd like to say thank you. And if you would like to give, the Wells Fargo account number is on the screen, and the Google Wallet link is also on the screen if you would like to give a little donation. And the school, and if you would like to mail in anything, we ask that you don't mail it to the school, but hit us up before you mail. I know it kind of stops a lot of the surprises, but just hit us up before you mail. That way we can give you an address, because brothers and sisters aren't here at the school 24 hours a day, 24/7. So hit us up. That way somebody can be here, or it can be sent to a house where somebody will be there, where your packages don't get lost or anything like that. So yeah, with that, we're going to open it up for class, man. This is a terrific class, a very terrific class, something to think about, you know, something to hit the the brain every morning that you wake up. So the topic for today's class is going to be the armor of God, the armor of the Most High. So you know how, like, every morning you wake up, you take a shower, you put on your clothes, right? You get dressed and you leave and you go out the door, right? Well, one thing for us, our lives is different being awoke to the truth. Satan has his radar directly on us. So we fight a spiritual warfare. Our warfare is not carnal, our warfare is spiritual. So when we wake up in the morning, as we go through it, and we go through everything about the armor of God that the Most High said to put on, as we go through these things, you know, it's almost like a checklist. You wake up, you say your prayer, you hop in the shower, you know, you might eat your breakfast, you might get out the door. But this is also like another checklist that you can use to prepare yourself for the day. Prepare your mind for the day that you're gonna take. Because some days are easy, some days are hard. You know, some days you just float, don't nothing happen. You know, it's just normal. Everything at the house is good. You and your husband are good. You and your wife and kids are good. You know, y'all eating, everything is good. But then there's some days when it's really bad. And then, you know, a lot of us, we don't prepare for those bad days. So when those bad days hit, it's like, golly, man, toothpaste fell off the toothbrush, driving, flat tire, getting to work late. I'm behind, and then it's just snowball affecting everything. But you know, we fight a spiritual warfare. So not every day is going to be good. Some days are going to be bad. Most days are going to be bad. But you know, this will help. This will help us to prepare for when we do have those bad days, and even good days. So yeah.
God.
I that was a nice alley-oop, right?
Even good there. You know, we go through this topic. We've been through this topic, right? Go there real quick. Go to Ephesians. Just give you a little bit to think about. Go to Ephesians. Let's go to 6 and 13 real quick.
Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 13.
Go ahead.
Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God,
Right.
that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day.
Right. So, a lot of the times, man, if you look back on, we know the days right now are evil. The sister just put in the chat that they just gave somebody a ticket for not having a mask on.
Wow.
Right? They just ticketed somebody for not having a mask. That's here in Houston. So, little things stem from that, and then it carries forth into, oh, you don't have a mask on. Then it goes from you not having a mask on to a cop shooting you in the face, right? All for not having a mask. That's how they do black people, right? The days are evil, and it tells us. Read it one more time.
Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God.
Right. It tells us to take on the whole armor of the Most High. Now, why is that significant? Why is the whole armor of the Most High significant?
And also think about it like this is a spiritual armor. It's not like, oh, I forgot to put on my socks or I forgot to put on my shoes. This is a spiritual armor.
Mm-hmm.
So why is it important to make sure that you have on the whole spiritual armor every day?
You stole their answer.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to help. I was trying to help.
Right, but it's significant, like he said, because it's a spiritual armor. You're not literally putting on. Are you literally walking through the streets with a sword?
Wow.
No, right? Are you literally putting on a breastplate? Like, remember our Passover garments from last year?
Yeah.
Where we had the breastplate, we had the armor, we had
Yeah.
Are you literally putting those things on a day-to-day basis?
It was a dope garment.
No, right? It's significant because what is it saying about your mentality? Now, read on real quick.
That ye may be able to withstand in the evil day.
Right. Now, why is it telling you to put this on so you can withstand in the evil day? What's significant about the evil day?
It's going to attack your spirit.
It's definitely going to attack your spirit, and not just your spirit. The beautiful thing about Satan is that he'll hit your spirit and he'll hit your flesh.
Okay.
Think about Job, right? So what's significant about this evil day that where when I walk out the house, or no matter, even if I'm in the house, because does the armor come off when you're in the house?
Nah.
Like, are you an Israelite in one instance and then you're not in another?
Nah.
So what's significant about this evil day?
It's continual. Like there's no, it's no ceasing them. Right?
Well, there kind of is, because remember, Satan hits us for a season.
Okay.
But what's significant about the evil day is that you don't know when it's going to happen. You don't know when Satan is going to strike that. Did Job know, like, Satan is coming from you at this day, at this time?
No.
He just had to be ready, right? He just had to always. So what does it show? If you're putting on and keeping on your armor, it's showing that you're on a defense, prepped and ready to go, but you're also on an offense, prepped and ready to go, because the armor that we wear is a defensive armor, but it's also an offensive armor.
Right.
It's a twofold thing. So from there, jump up to 2 Corinthians 2 and verse 11 real quick. The significance is not to be taken advantage of. That's the significance of this armor. Think about a football player that goes out without thigh pads. What happens?
Which they do.
Which some of them do, right?
Right.
But those are the ones that get the little Charlie horses. right? They get smacked with a shoulder pad on thighs.
Or a face mask.
Or a face mask on thighs, and those are the ones limping off the field. Those thigh pads, they serve a purpose, just like shoulder pads. Just like, imagine going to play football without your cup, right? To protect the groin, right? You could you open yourself up, and cats do that too, right? I don't know why you would do that.
No,
Because you run better.
You run, yeah, it's easier to run, right?
Yeah, I didn't wear the cup and I didn't wear the thigh pads.
Yeah, you cats, but now you cats' bodies all broke down.
God.
Right? Those be the ones whose bodies don't survive the long haul, right? So it's about being prepared and ready to not watch. Read out 2 Corinthians 2 and verse 11.
2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11.
Right?
Lest Satan should get an advantage of us.
See, Satan gets the advantage when you're not ready. That's all it is. It's plain and simple. Go ahead.
For we are not ignorant of his devices.
Right. So what are some of Satan's devices? Remember, spiritual warfare. What are Satan's devices in a spiritual warfare? While y'all think about it, go to Revelations 12 and verse 9. What you got?
Bro, I was to say, because he tested those fruits of the spirit.
He tests those fruits of the spirit. Absolutely right. But is he testing the fruit? Is he testing the fruits, or is he trying to make you not use the fruit?
I would say that.
Keep the fruit from
He's
growing.
trying to make that fruit not grow. Right? So yeah, he is. I like it. He is testing your ability to apply the fruits of the spirit, and the way he wins, the way he gets an advantage, is that when we stop. Right? Abadiah?
I was gonna say he tests our intentions.
He tests our intentions.
Like what our weaknesses.
He tests our weaknesses. But how does he exploit? How does he get the advantage?
through our vices, like the things that make you.
Through our vices.
Yeah.
But how? Watch. Read Revelations 12 and verse 9.
Revelations chapter 12 and verse 9.
Right.
And the great dragon was cast out.
Go ahead.
That old serpent.
Right.
Called the devil.
Go ahead.
And Satan.
Read.
Which deceiveth the whole world.
So one of his vices, one of his devices is to use deceptiveness.
Right.
To be deceitful. Right? I'm going to read this. Deceptive. Having the power to mislead. Or to impress false opinions. Ain't that what happened with Eve?
Yeah.
He impressed a false opinion. Like, no, you won't die today if you eat the fruit.
Right.
Right? But you're going to die. But not today. Nah, you won't die today.
Right.
You'll be good. Watch. Take a bite. See, you didn't die, right? You good, right?
Right.
Yeah. Then she's like, oh, Dad, you're right. We didn't die.
You become a god.
You become a god. But not realizing that you didn't die today, but further down the line, that's you appointed death into your generations.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Go ahead. Read on.
He was cast out into the earth.
Right?
And
right.
his-
That's it on that. So, deceptive, as in a countenance or in appearance. Now, go to 2 Thessalonians 2 and verse 9. And the reason why I'm showing y'all is and trying to go, going through these little bulk, this little intro, is because Satan, he has an armor also. Satan has something that he's cloaked with, and it's all these different traits. It's deceptiveness, right? What else is it? Remember when he went to the Most High and said, "I'll be a lying spirit." He's cloaked with deceptiveness, with lying, with cheating, with stealing, with murders. That's what he wears.
Right.
He wears a cloak of deceit, of just being deceptive, right? Misleading. So if he got his game face on, that means we have to have our game face. Watch, 2 Thessalonians 2 and 9.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 9.
Read it.
Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan.
Go ahead.
With all power.
With all what?
Power.
So he comes with that power, like, oh man, that's powerful.
God.
That's great. And you get bamboozled in the power of Satan. The majesty of Satan when he transforms into that angel of light, when he comes with all that wisdom, and he comes with all that knowledge, and you sitting there like, dang, I'm smart. Right?
Oh, that reminds me of what he just said earlier before class started.
Uh-huh.
Like how he said the Edomite dude told him that lightning came from the bottom up.
Right. Lightning does something weird, and
It's like the way he brought it out. It sound like it would be something true
Like-
by the way he said it.
Yeah.
It's on the voice, the confidence he came with it.
because they come with that power, they come with that authority, right?
Mhm.
What else? Go ahead.
In the scripture?
Yeah, go ahead in the scriptures.
And signs and lying
And
wonders.
he said signs and what?
Lying wonders.
So they come with their signs, and the sad part is we know the Jews seek a sign, right? And lying wonders. So this is what Satan is cloaked about with. And what is he really trying to do? What is Satan trying to do when he comes to you and he uses your vices, your weaknesses, right, and exploits them? He's really trying to take off his garment and put it on. You ever see like when James Brown he was doing his show back in the day,
Oh,
and
they
they
put
put the
the-
cloak on him, and then he get all the power, right? It's the same thing. He's trying to put his mantle on you, his cloak on you,
Yeah.
of lying, of stealing, of cheating, of robbery, of hatred, of negativity, of sloth. That's what Satan does. He got a cloak also.
That's intense.
Right? Go ahead, read on, watch.
And with all deceitful
Deceivableness.
With all the deceivableness,
deceivableness
right?
of unrighteousness in them that
Because
perish.
that's the whole point. How do I get this man to perish? Remember, Satan knows that his time is short. So what's he trying to do?
Deceive as many as you can.
He's trying to deceive as many as he can. He's trying to bring as many to the grave, as many to hell with him as he can. He's trying to collect as many minions as possible. Go ahead.
Because they receive not the love of the truth.
Right. So as we go in, right, as we go into the armor of the Most High, it tells you to be girt about with truth.
Done.
Right? But that's something that you have to have always. Right? You had your hand up.
Satan wants to get as many spirits as he can with him, right?
Right.
Not like the body goes to the dirt. The body dies regardless. But Satan, and it's the question for him, like Satan wants your spirit to go with him since his time is short, right?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Watch. Satan desireth you to sift you like wheat. Get that one. Read on. They'll get it up here. Read on.
That they might be saved.
Right? That they might be saved, because that's what saves us, is the truth, is this other armor. Right? Read verse 11.
Verse 11. And for this cause, the Most High send them strong delusions.
Right, so another thing from Satan is strong delusions. Right, that's why you have, and we've been talking about it lately in a lot of the classes, is, and the beautiful class that Laka Rob did about, Are You a Heathen? You got a lot of men and women that have strong delusions, and they have a lot of strong misconceptions when it comes to what is biblical and what is not. Right? A lot of strong delusions is what Satan sends a lot of people that are not, they're not armored up. Read on.
That they should believe a lie.
Right. Remember, Satan is a liar. Straight out, flat, he's a liar. Right? They say the devil is a lie, right? They rap about it. But Satan himself said it. I'll be a lying spirit. When you read in Kings. Right? Somebody else get that one real quick. Get that John for me.
Oh, it was Luke.
Or Luke. Yeah, get that Luke for me.
It's Luke 22 and verse 31.
Right, so does Satan want you? Hell yeah, Satan wants you. Watch, read.
Luke chapter 22, verse 31.
Right?
And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold,
Right?
Satan hath desired to have you.
Yeah, Satan desires to have anybody that's trying to walk the righteous path. He desired to have you. Go ahead.
That he may sift you as wheat.
And what do you sift? When you sift wheat, what are you sifting? It's simple. You're sifting good from the bad. You're sifting the wheat from the dirt. What can be used and what can't be. Right? But he wants to sift through your spirit, man. He wants to sift you out of those priestly garments. He wants to sift that truth out of you, that righteous mind state out of you. And how will he do it? Give me that Kings. These are the things that Satan wears, man. He walks around looking like a damn liar. looking deceptive. You can recognize them. You can recognize them in any people if you look close enough. You can recognize them in our own people. Right? Who got that?
First Kings.
Oh, you got it? Lying.
So wheat is the value, right? That's
Wheat is the valuable thing. You're right. 1 Kings 22:22. Wheat is what's of value. And you sifting wheat from corn. You sifting wheat, the dirt. You sifting it to get the valuable thing, right? I'm going to use the wheat. I can't use anything else other than. Satan wants to take the value from you. Right? He'll devalue you, but how? He'll put his traits on you, his characteristics. Right. He's going to put on his garment on you.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Satan got a garment. Look, Yahweh Shai got a garment.
Right.
There's a garment that Yahweh Shai got to wear for specific times. I'm going to go there. Right? But read this 2 Kings real quick. And it's important because if we want to walk like Yahweh Shai, then we always have to be in, first of all, think about it. You if you dress like a firefighter, you probably gonna feel like one, right?
Done.
If you dress like a doctor, you might feel like one, right? If you
Dude,
dress like a cop, like there was a cop that was down in dang, I forgot where he was. Damn Edomite. He was dressing up, impersonating a cop for like 30 years. He'd been arrested, like literally on a bike, pulling people over. Hey, you got a gun, badge, but he's not really a cop, but he felt like one.
Wow.
Writing tickets and everything. Like, nigga, what are you doing?
Right.
Yeah.
Dang.
Dressing up on a cop on a bike. You dress you gotta what do you say? You gotta play the role. You gotta act the part. And part of it is what you have on. You know a man by his what? His gait, his walk, his talk, his attire, the way he dress, right? But again, is this armor that we're talking about? Can I see your breastplate of righteousness? Like when you step out the house, do I see your helmet just shining? Nah. Right? This is a spirit. These are spiritual characteristics that embodies. You're supposed to embody yourself in this spirit. Read that real quick. Let's talk more about Satan.
1 Kings chapter 22, verse 22.
Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto him,
Right.
Wherewith? And he said,
No, read up.
21.
Read verse 20.
19.
God, sir.
Read verse 19.
And he said, Hear thou therefore the word of the Most High.
Right.
I saw the Lord sitting on his throne,
Read.
and all the host of heaven standing by him.
Go ahead.
On his right hand and on his left. And the Most High said, Who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead?
Right. So who's going to persuade Ahab? Go ahead.
And one said unto this manner,
Right.
and another said on that manner.
Right.
And there came forth a spirit.
They came forth a what?
A spirit.
Read.
And stood before the Most High.
Come on.
And said, I will persuade him.
Right.
And the Most High said,
and I won't just persuade him. Check this out. Read on.
and the Most High said unto him,
Right.
Wherewith?
Right.
And he said, I will go forth.
Right.
And I will be a lying
I ain't
spirit.
just going to persuade him. I'm going to lie, man. I'm going to be a lying spirit.
Damn.
That's Satan. That's the devil. It said he deceiveth the whole world. So what is it that he's trying to put on you, on us?
His cloak.
His cloak, his garment
God.
of lying, of deceiving, of hatred, of murmuring, backbiting, envy, jealousy, right?
Done.
Now, I like that jealousy because, watch, read on.
Concert.
Uh-huh.
I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets.
Read.
And he said, Thou shalt persuade him.
Right.
And prevail also.
Right, that's it on that. So now, I want you to go to Wisdom of Solomon. Because we understand that Satan got a cloak, he got a garment that he compasses himself around, and him and his little minions.
Done.
What does Yahweh Shai wear? What's that? Go ahead, what you got?
Just real quick, you think about it. This is Ahab, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Most High was allowing these spirits to go to Ahab, but why? What kind of man was Ahab?
Oh,
Ahab was one of the worst kings in Israel.
right.
So think about it. Just think about it. When you look at Job, when you had Satan and the Most High talking about Job,
Right.
Satan was like, remove your angels, and then I can touch him. But think about it. Ahab, it's like Ahab never even had it. The Most High was like, who's going to be a lying spirit to this guy? So whereas Job had a form of protection from the Most High. It's like Ahab, he didn't even have it.
Can I get this one real quick? Go to Job 12:16. Right on what you were saying. Watch. Go to Job 12:16.
And that's just to even go back in. That's even to go into one of the armors of God. You know what I mean?
Right. Go to Job 12 and verse 16.
Job chapter 12 verse 16. With him is strength
Right.
and wisdom.
The
deceived and the deceiver are his.
Right. The deceived and the deceiver are his. But like he was saying, Job at least had a hedge around him, right?
Right.
Ahab didn't have that. It was like, man, go get him. Who's going to persuade this guy? Go ahead.
I was going to say Satan literally put his armor on him, or Satan made him naked.
Right.
He didn't have an armor.
Right.
He didn't have that armor on him. So, yeah.
Now there's another scripture. Check this out. This is.
And that's what Satan wants from us.
Say that one more time.
I don't know. So with him is strength and wisdom.
Right. It's talking about the Most High.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The deceived and the deceiver are his.
Yeah. Remember, he said, who controls Satan?
Okay, I got
You got it? Right. Right. It all goes back to the principles. Who controls Satan?
Most High.
Now, if you're remember, it said that there will be in the last days men that are deceived. What does it say? It said that will deceive and being deceived.
Yeah, deceived and being deceived.
Right. Why? Because they're letting themselves be given over to that spirit.
Right.
That's what they're putting on, right?
Got it.
Now check this out. Where's it at? Oh man, it was a cold scripture. Oh, go to John 14:30. Woof. Go to John 14:30. This right here.
John, chapter 14, verse 30.
Right?
Hereafter I will not talk much with you.
Right?
For the prince of this world cometh,
Right?
and hath nothing in me.
See, Yahweh Shai had nothing to do with the prince, the darkness of this world. Think about when Satan came and tried to do what? Persuade him. Try to throw him off his game. He stuck to his guns. He stuck to the spirit. He kept on his armor. Right? What does it mean by nothing in me? Meaning, you're not going to use, there's no device. There's no vice that I have that Satan can use against me. You're hungry? Turn the stones into bread. Nah, I'm good. Can't eat off bread alone. Right? Give you all these kingdoms. Nah, I'm good. Don't tempt the Most High. That's who you're supposed to serve. Like, there was nothing in Yahweh Shai that Satan could say, look, we're going to pinpoint this and use this as an occasion to get him. Just like the Pharisees, right? They try to find fault in him. It wasn't working like that. But see, there's things in us that if we don't stay guarded on the defense and on the offense, Satan will say, oh yeah, look, he ain't got his shoes on today. Let's get him. Oh, look, he forgot the helmet. Let's get him. Oh, snap. He got his sword. That sword is glistening, but the nigga ain't got his shield. So he could play offense, but what happens when I swing back?
Right.
No defense. Right? Now let's go to Wisdom of Solomon. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon 5:16. And then we're going to actually go into the breaking down of this Ephesians 6. Go to Wisdom of Solomon 5:16. Go ahead.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 16.
Read.
Therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom.
Right?
And a beautiful crown.
Right.
From the Most High's hand.
Go ahead.
For with his right hand shall he cover them.
Right. Speaking of the righteous, go ahead.
And with his arms shall he protect them.
Go ahead.
He shall take to him his jealousy for complete armor.
It said he'll take jealousy for his complete armor. Wow. Go ahead, read on.
And make the creature his weapon.
And make the what?
The creature his weapon.
Because Yahweh Shai got weapons of warfare. He got an armor that he's going to wear. Read on.
For the revenge of his enemies.
Come on.
He shall put on righteousness as a breastplate.
The same way when we read in Ephesians, we're going to put on righteousness as a breastplate. Go ahead.
And true judgment.
And what?
And true judgment.
Go ahead.
Instead of an helmet.
Yeah, he's going to have real judgment. Remember when you read in Isaiah 11, it said he'll judge with righteousness and equity? Right? It said true judgment. He won't reprove after the hearing of his ears or the seeing of his eyes,
Respect the persons.
that's true judgment. It ain't a real helmet.
God.
It's real spirit. It's the spirit. Go ahead, read on.
He shall take holiness for an invincible shield.
Go ahead.
His severe wrath shall be sharp. Shall he sharpen for a sword?
Right?
And the world shall fight with him against the unwise.
Go to Isaiah 11 and verse 5. Go to Isaiah 11 and verse 5. So, as we see in here, everybody got to be girded up with whatever profession they're in. Right? Satan got a profession to deceive the world. He's cloaked about with all the things to deceive and lie and cheat and steal. Yahushua got to come save us. He got to be cloaked about with all the things that's gonna save us. We have to be cloaked and in that armor to be able to withstand these evil days. Why? Because it's easy. Think about how many brothers and sisters were Israelites a year ago and now they're not. It's funny, man. I got a group chat with my family and I don't really pay too much attention to it. But they be in there, you know, Christian stuff, and they posting God and this and this and that. I don't pay no attention, man. I let them do their thing. And I got this cousin, man. He claims he's an atheist, so he hops on there today. It was funny. He hops on there today, and he's like, "You guys know that I'm a." What did he say? I want to say it verbatim because it's hilarious. I laughed, but I like it because he stands on his square. I've been on him as an atheist since I known the dude. He's 50 years old, and he stands on his square of an atheist, right? Where's it at? Facebook, right? And then Messenger. He said, "Y'all know I'm a devout atheist or something crazy." I was like, and I just laughed. I was like, I laughed, and he just deleted himself from the chat. What he said? He said, "Not quite sure why anyone would include me, a known atheist, to all this God foolishness. Clearly you guys weren't thinking." And I just put like 2 emojis, laugh, laugh, laugh. And he was like, "I know, it's just too hilarious. Such and such has left the group."
Left the chat.
He just left the chat. And I'm like, dang.
Nice.
But what I was thinking about was, dang, what a time to be an atheist.
Right.
What a wrong time to not understand biblical prophecy.
In the last days there will be scoffers.
A black man that thinks that he's Japanese, he's a Benjamite, born in Jamaica, thinks that he's Japanese, married to a Japanese woman, that's fine, whatever. But his whole mind state on everything is just skewed.
Wow.
You know, he's very presumptuous type of guy, he's very smart. He's very smart, very well educated, but you know those smart dummies, those intellectual dummies? He's one of those guys. Because when it does come into the realm of dealing with actual knowledge of just history in the Bible, he's easily shut down. He's easily knocked off guard. I've had conversation with him where I'm like, "Come on, bro, this is easy. Let's just go through history." Right? You don't believe the Bible? Let's go believe history. Let's see what history says. And then the Bible just coincides. So, you know, it's easy. But I'm thinking like, man, what a time to not be armored up. What a time not to have that helmet of salvation or that sword or that shield. You know, I was reading something about the shield. We'll get there. We'll get there. Go to Isaiah 11 and verse 5.
Isaiah chapter 11 and verse 5.
Right?
"And righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins."
Remember, this is talking about Yahushua. But is it just Yahushua? It's all of us. Isaiah 11 and 5. "And righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins." Read.
"And faithfulness the girdle of his
Right, and
reins."
faithfulness, the girdle of his mind. Right? A lot of us lack in that area of faithfulness because our minds ain't strong, our minds ain't rooted. So these are the things that Yahushua, and this is just a little bit of it. I didn't go super in depth because I wanted to make sure we got to this the Ephesians. But if Yahushua got a garment, if Satan got a garment, right, of deceivableness, of lying, of stealing, of cheating, of hatred. Think about it, man. You got to see how Satan works. They talking about Black Lives Matter, but 102 people died in Chicago from Friday to yesterday.
Wow.
Right.
Who the hell's talking about it? And I'm talking not just people, black people died from gun violence. 102. No, 102 shot, 14 died. Excuse me. I don't want to skew the numbers and make it seem like everybody's dying from corona, like how they do. You go in there with a broken leg, oh, that's corona.
Right.
But think about it: 102 people shot, 14 dead. Black Lives Matter, but how come nobody's talking about that one?
Right.
Because Satan, right? Black Lives Matter. I seen the perfect meme. It was a man handcuffed, like tied up. He had a bag over his head, and it said "Black Lives Matter," right? And then right under it, they pulled the mask off, and it was LGBTQ. Yeah, because that's how they get you. They fly a banner under one thing, then it really is representative of something else. Like that whole movement. All you gotta do is look in the old girl. What's her name? What's her name?
I don't know.
Huh?
Who it is.
Angela Davis.
Is that her name?
Is she that
One of the founders. First of all,
LGBT?
no, one of the founders of Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Her name is Cortez or something like that. Well, first of all, she's married to a transgender. She's a black woman raised Jewish that's married to a transgender woman. Yeah, a Hispanic transgender woman. Like, think about that. But Black Lives Matter.
Right.
But how do Black Lives matter if you advocate for homosexuality? How do you make more black lives?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't. The 2 eggplant emojis don't make a baby. The 2 peach emojis don't make a baby. The peach stands for the one, the eggplant for the man. Right, y'all know the emojis. Right? Those don't make babies. So how do black lives really trying to be politically correct here, right? But how do black lives really matter if nothing comes from this movement?
Right.
Because again, with all deceivableness, them that believe a lie, Satan deceived the whole world. He uses these things to deceive us, man. Right. And if you're not armored up and understanding that, let me peel back the layers. Let me peel back the layers and really dive in and look. Oh, snap, damn. Well, there's 3 lesbian women that run that organization. They hate black men. 3 feminist lesbian women. You know, lesbianism is feminism. They don't like men. They hate men. They hate, and it's the black man especially. When I peel the layers back, damn. Okay, there's another dude that funds. There's a dude that was born in somewhere in Europe. He funds Black Lives Matters. Soros, right? The damn devil. The devil, man. You gotta see the way he made his money and made his millions and what he puts it into. They call it for philanthropy, bro. He's the death angel himself. So we got to see if we're not constantly, like it says, armored up.
Right.
You gonna get got. Them fiery darts are gonna get shot through your heart. Right? So let's go from there. Let's go to Ephesians 6.
Oh, that's her right there, huh?
That's her right there. Angela Garza. She goes by Angela something Garza. It's hyphenated. She didn't get rid of her Jewish last name, I don't think. But yeah, you just got to Wikipedia her. They'll tell you all about her. They ain't even hiding it no more. They're not hiding that she's with a transgender. They're not hiding that she's a lesbian. They're not hiding none of that. Right? So go ahead.
Crazy.
Where we at?
Give me Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 10.
Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Most High, and in the power of his might.
So, we've been talking about these different garments. These garments that Satan wears, the garment that Yahushua wears. Now, the scripture is saying that we need to be strong in the garment of Yahushua, in the garment of the Most High. Read on.
Put on the whole armor of God.
Put on what?
The whole armor of God.
So it's being detailed and specific. Put on the whole armor. Don't leave nothing out. Don't leave, and it's going to go through the whole armor, but don't leave nothing out. Yep. Make sure you got it all on, because you don't want any breach where Satan can come in. You don't want any weak link within your garment where Satan can creep in. No chinks in the armor. Read on.
That ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
Because his wiles is him trying to put his garment on you, like how Quadazat was bringing out all these different deceivable ways, lying, cheating, hatred, malice, all these things that he tries to infect in you, like the coronavirus. He's trying to infect you with it and spread it throughout your mind and it gets you to spread it to someone else,
God.
to find chinks in someone else's garment or armor, so that you can infect them. It's like, oh, he forgot the belt. Ooh, I can get in right there. Oh, he forgot the breastplate. I can get in right there. Oh, his head is uncovered. I can get in right there. You know, Satan always wants a way in.
He's an opportunist.
He's an opportunist.
And you know what I like about what you're saying is, if you ever had like a competition against somebody, or a battle, or a fight against somebody, they take advantage of your weakness.
Right.
Like if it's like if I'm playing you against Madden, if I see that you can't stop something, I'm gonna do that all the time.
Exploit.
And that's how
Yeah.
Satan works.
Yep.
Once he sees that he can exploit you at something, at one area, why change?
Right.
That's how I can get in. So that's what I'm gonna keep doing. So that's why it's important to put that whole armor, that spiritual armor on, because if you got a weak link, if you got a chink like you said,
Gone.
that's gonna be exploited. And it's not gonna stop being exploited until you patch it. It's just like, that's why the scripture says, don't give the water passage. If you build up a wall, but there's like a hole in the wall, and that wall is meant to keep water out, that water is not going to stop coming through that hole until you patch that hole up.
Right.
So it's the same thing with dealing with your spirit. You know, we're not oblivious to Satan's devices. If you keep falling to something, it's not going to stop until you fix it. It's not going to move to a different area until you fix it.
Right.
So, you know, that's why it's very important to put on the whole armor. If you keep forgetting to put your boot on, you're going to keep stepping on glass. It's not going to change. So,
You forget to put your socks on underneath the boots, you're going to get foot fungus.
Right.
Yeah, one of Satan's devices is that you think that there's a rest period.
Oh, yeah.
They always say Satan don't stop, right?
Gone.
But who's more powerful than Satan?
Yeah, what's
The
up?
word, the truth, the wisdom, Yahweh Shai. That it's crazy, man. You got cats that'll go to bed with the pistol under the pillow. They have the pistol under the pillow. They'll have the shotgun next to the bed. They have all little trap doors. They press a button, the gun pops out the wall.
Knives.
Knives and all types of what on their chest. Got knives in your wallet.
Right.
You got all that ready to go physically,
Right.
but you won't have enough built up in you spiritually to be able to, because that's how Satan comes first. He ain't hitting cats in the spirit physically. He waits last. He's like, man, let me test your knowledge. Let me test your knowledge. That's how he's doing us now. Let me deceive you with knowledge first. Let me deceive you with things that look good,
Right.
Gone.
right? And then, I can't get you that way. Then he starts going to the physical,
Right.
hitting the bodies, brothers' backs, knees, heads, arms, legs. But it's knowledge. It's here. He's hitting you mentally first. So if you're not building up, gird up the loins of your mind, right? If you're not building up for that evil day, it's going to be it's easy. All your days are going to seem evil. All your days are going to seem like, damn, can I catch a break?
Gone.
Yeah.
And some days, no matter how mentally strong you are, it seems like that. Like, dang,
Gotta take it.
you got to take it, yeah. But Satan, he's going to deal with you on your level.
Definitely.
He's going to give you what you can handle. Go ahead.
I like what you were saying there, because it's like that with any confrontation. It starts in the spirit. It starts in the spirit. It starts in the mind. And if you could break a person's mind down before you actually get into it with them, they're much weaker.
Right.
And I know that from fighting. I mean, you can take a big muscly guy and break his mind down, and he's not that strong anymore physically. His muscles don't work the same because his mind isn't in it. So that's what Satan does. He'll break down your mind, and then the rest of you is he can just run over you once he broke down your spirit.
What is he sifting you from? He's sifting your mind away from being prepared in this way, in this manner. He ain't physically putting you in a sifter
No.
and moving you around and sifting your body parts. No, he's sifting you from wisdom. He's sifting us from righteousness. He pulls us away from the understanding of who we are and where we're going, right?
Gone.
Matthew 13, when one heareth the word of the kingdom and understand it not, then come the wicked one. to snatch away, to sift away, to pull away from what's in your heart. Is what we got to understand. So, not understanding that the days are evil and I got to be ready. You know, I had a conversation with a bro, and he was saying like, yeah, you know, some certain things, I kind of just sit back and wait for the information to come to me.
Right.
I might have a question, but I don't really go and seek the answer. And I'm like, ooh, Satan loves that. Because he'll just send his little minions to go. And hey, what about the Holy Trinity? And you're like, I know about the Holy Trinity, but I can't break it down.
Right.
They're like, well, no, the Holy Trinity is real. See, God and Christ are the same. And they start hitting you with all, and you're like, you sit in a chair that's taking bullets.
Right.
Right? And he like, dang, I should have went and got the answer.
Right.
I should have been ready. I should have had my armor up.
Right.
Well, what about the holy, what is it? Immaculate Conception.
Immaculate Conception.
Virgin birth. Well, it says right here, the Immaculate Conception. See? The angel overshadowed her, and right? And if you ain't got enough understanding, and if your armor is not built up for that day,
Yeah.
it's over. It's over. And then it goes deeper, and it'd be basic things, and it'd be depending on who you are and your understanding. But we have to be actively on the offense, but actively on the defense. Actively putting on this armor daily to be ready for that day, right?
John, read on.
Yes, sir. And for verse 12,
Bullets.
for we wrestle not against flesh and blood.
Because if it was flesh and blood, then it'd just be about how strong you are, how long you can endure. But this is a spiritual battle. It don't stop. You wrestle with a man for a short time period. You wrestle with an individual or a situation for a short time period. But in the spirit, it don't stop. Satan is not stopping. Satan want to get you when you sleep. Satan want to get you as soon as you wake up. Satan want to get you when you step out the door. Satan want to get you while you're driving down the street. Satan want to get you when you're at your job. Satan want to get you whenever he can get you. He's an opportunist. He's waiting. He's like that lion that's in the brush, waiting to pounce on you. When can I get in? Oh, he's down. Oh, you know what? Let me send this distraction so I can throw his mind off.
Right.
Let me send this his way so that I can weaken his thoughts, so I can weaken his spirit, so I can vex his spirit. I like that word vex because you look up the definition for vex, man, it's a strong irritation. It's a strong irritation. And he wanna weaken you or shaking you somehow. Because when you're at your full potential, when you're walking with your full cloak on, ready for war, it's not an easy battle. When you lined up with these scriptures, it's not an easy battle for him. You want to make it as easy as possible for him. So we're not wrestling against a physical person. We're not wrestling against a man or a woman. We're wrestling against a spirit. Read on.
But against principalities.
Go ahead.
Against powers.
Read.
Against the rulers of the darkness of this world.
Read.
Against spiritual wickedness in high places.
These high level demons that's coming after us. Satan sent his minions. He got his officers, of his soldiers, his troopers, his officers of hundreds, his officers of thousands, his officers of 50,000. You know, his generals. He's sending his legions, and each one specializes in a certain area that's going to get to y'all online. He knows how to get you. He's been watching you since birth. He knows what ticks you off. He knows what buttons to press. He knows if you got buttons to press. But you know what? You gotta armor up. But we're gonna get into that.
Go to war.
Read verse 13.
Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God,
Go ahead.
that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day.
And what's the evil day? Class. What's the evil day?
Day when the Most High comes back, Yahweh Shai comes back.
Okay, yeah. But I want more of a personal experience, a personal day-to-day experience, because yeah, we know the day of the Most High is darkness and not light, but this is going in. This evil day isn't when Yahweh Shai come back, because that's evil for him too. That's evil for the demons.
I was gonna say, but it's not. Well, it does. The scripture does say that it's a day of darkness when Yahweh Shai comes back.
Mm-hmm.
But that ain't evil to us.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's gonna be. It's gonna be a day of darkness, but think about us that's been doing the work. That's been sacrificing. It's gonna be like yeah, we're gonna crap our pants, but it's like this is what we've been working for.
We've been waiting for.
Yeah, 3 hands up. Hold up, Abadiah, you were first.
I'm gonna say, could the evil day be a day when we're kind of caught off guard and he gets us in his grip and we don't have the fortitude, the fortification, the spiritual awareness and ability to not be in that position or to get out of it?
Right on the money. Someone else.
It would be like, let's say that you're a husband and a wife, and the wife makes the husband mad, and he could deal like the world, or he could deal in the spirit.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. What'd you have, Ricardo?
I had a question. I like the responses coming up, but my question is on the topic. But on the first Passover, right, on Egypt and everything like that, those who didn't have the blood over there, that day was those who had the blood on their door. That wasn't evil for them, but those that did it was evil for them, right?
God, it was definitely evil.
So
All
like,
the firstborns died.
Like, I mean, I don't know.
You know, I wouldn't even say that's evil. That's just you called that to you.
You're right.
It's just you didn't do what you were supposed to do. You just didn't follow the instructions. You didn't believe. So of course you're gonna get what you of course you were gonna get. You reap what you sowed. So if that's what you sowed, then that's what you reaped. You know when it says the evil day, right? The evil day, it's like I was saying earlier. We have good days, we have bad days. Those bad days are evil days. It's not just one day. It's something goes wrong. Like you said, vexation. It's a crazy. What is it?
Like
a real bad irritation. Vexation is a strong irritation. If you're at your job and you're getting irritated out your mind, and you're like, man, I cannot stand this person. I want to choke you. I want to slap you. If this chick calls me again, I swear I'm gonna slap her. Or my boss, I'm gonna slap you. I'm finna knock you out. That's an evil time in your day. Now, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna move off the emotion? You're gonna move the way Satan wants you to move, or you gonna move the way the Scripture says to move? But the evil day is just the day of tempted. It's just when you get tempted. That's all it is, and we all get tempted. But there's days when you're good. There's days when, man, the temptation is real. Like Satan's really trying my patience right now. So, God, and you have the job. The job is something that we deal with on a day-to-day, right? But think about when you was in the world before the truth. How many instances did you have where it was like, damn, this is life or death, or this is a life-changing situation? That's an evil day.
God.
That's like, damn, do I lay with this guy? Or damn, do I lay with this chick?
Shoot.
When a child or an STD could be involved, that's life-changing.
God.
Or, damn, do I go and smoke this? Do I go and hang out with these people? Do I go and pop this? That's life-changing. Or, just different things. That's all. The evil day, it compasses all that, everything. So
watch on the evil day, and I'll come back to you, Ricardo. Give me Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 16.
Ephesians chapter 5 verse 16. Redeeming the time, because the days are evil.
It says the days are evil. We got to redeem this time. We got to make haste. We got to cleave. We got to continue to dig in, stay armored up, and seek the Most High while we have time, because these days are evil. We're in an evil time. Look, brothers still getting shot in their cars, pulled out in the street, shot in the street. Crazy things happening on the roads. The rioting, the protesting, the pestilence, in other countries you got the locusts over in Africa eating up everything and spreading over through the Middle East. Come on, These days are evil. And then this besides that, you have the things that's immediate at your doorstep. The relationship issues, or the doubt issues, or the loneliness issues, or the lack of confidence issues. You have all the lack of faith. These personal things. These days are evil. And Satan continuing to look for a way. Read on.
Wherefore, be ye not unwise.
Go ahead.
But understanding what the will of the Lord is.
We gotta stay in the book. We gotta stay studied up. We gotta stay armored up. But you gotta know about, and you have to realize that it's not a physical thing. It's not something that me and Lacara was kind of talking about this a little bit before class. It's not like you can go to the gym and hit the weights and be prepared for this fight, or you can go into the gym and spar and be ready for this fight. In that sense, it's more of a spiritual, mental exercise. You're working out this, and you're working out the thing that animates this.
And you know, it's beautiful that you said that, because it is a spiritual exercise, right? Because a lot of the things that we go through, if you're not looking at it spiritually, like the scripture says, unto the pure all things are pure, but unto the defiled, even their conscience is unpure or defiled, right? So when you look at certain things that you go through in your life, and it's little small petty stuff, those small petty stuff, at the time you might not think it's small and petty, but those are the things, those are spiritual exercises for you. The family members you got to deal with, the co-workers you got to deal with. You know, if your tire pops, if you wake up late, or if you feel some type of way after eating, like all these things, dealing with your children, dealing with your husband, dealing with your wife, all these things are spiritual exercises for you. Because there's usually one big one that'll happen, or multiple big ones that'll happen. And these situations are make or break. Those big ones are make or break, and what you're gonna do when it's a big one, when this can make your relationship or break your relationship, or you know, the constant dealing with your kids, right? The constant, you know, you having patience with them, and you taking time out for them, and you trying to be consistent with them to show them certain things. Guess what? At some point, it's going to become a make or break situation with that child where, okay, I've been teaching you from the time you were young coming up. Now it's a make or break situation for you when you go to school and you got all these kids around you. So you've been, that time and that effort that you spent dealing with them, it's going to come into fruition when now it's this make or break. Or when that child gets older and starts bucking up at you, then what do? You going to kick them out? You going to be a certain type of way against them? Those are the make or break situations. But everything that we deal with on a day-to-day basis, that's all spiritual. It's that spiritual exercise that he said for when something does happen, something detrimental does happen, when you're needed, when the right judgment from you is needed. But how are you going to move?
Right. I like what Daviad, he put something in there, you know, and I'm a man of few words, so this is perfect, right up my alley. He said the day of your temptations.
Right. Day of your temptations.
You know, when things are starting to hit you, when you're vulnerable.
Right.
But why are you vulnerable? You're not guarded up.
Right.
You're not armored up.
Right.
What you got?
So, in the evil day of the day of your temptations, right?
Mm-hmm.
We as practitioners of righteousness, right? Like practice every day, exercise every day so that we can get this right.
Come.
In the day of temptation, are we to like stop and hide away from temptation, or are we supposed to, as practitioners, like, all right, try not to get it wrong, but learn how to defeat it? Because I said it earlier, like, if you keep picking at it and you're not fixing it, it's just gonna forever get picked on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, again, are we to just like, when I got in that multiple car collision a week or so back, I didn't go outside the house. I was like, I ain't driving. I don't want to drive. So it's like, all right. A multiple day of temptations is like, oh my God, I don't want to go outside. Is that the way we're supposed to be? Are we supposed to, I guess, cower away from it? Or are we supposed to, like, you know what? Shake me outside, man, give me that strength so I can go through it and endure through this. Is that where, like, the long suffering and the fruits of the Spirit start coming into play and everything like that?
Well, the thing is, being ready beforehand. Now, there's always going to be, like Paul had said, being forward a year ago. You know, even like the example when he was talking about the brother that he spoke with, when a battle or a type of temptation or a way where a brother can let doubt creep in, he wasn't fully ready for that, but he could have been. And even if you're not ready in the moment, guess what? You're not by yourself in this battle. You got brothers, you got sisters, you got counsel. It's like, dang, I'm in this situation. What do? I was in the situation the other day. My brain just wasn't working. I was like, as soon as something happened, I was like, hey, this just happened to me. What do? It was like, well, did you do this? Oh, yeah, I didn't think about doing that. Okay. You know what? I can't do that. Okay, what about this? Oh, okay. Yeah, well, okay, I can do that. I know, you know what? I reassessed the situation. I can't do that either. It's like my brain just wouldn't work. But I was in that temptation. I was in a seeming vulnerable instance where I could have just said, hey, I'll just bow down and take it and say, hey, my life is messed up. Get down on myself. I hate my life. I hate it. I hate everything. I hate this existence. But I was like, no, I need help. Let me use my resources because they're also part of my armor. You know, it like in Ecclesiastes, it says two are better than one. For one fall, he has his brother there to lift him up. So that even if we're not directly next to each other, we're all here for each other.
And that's what the brothers and sisters are exercising once they're coming together in unity and everything like that. And with what you're doing, that's righteous on your end. Is like the Most High says, all right, let's see if this man is going to slam into the wall.
I slammed into the wall.
Rather than
a literal wall.
Than utilizing your resources. So that's righteous, right? Like
God.
You reaching out on your end.
God.
The thing that you needed to do was call out to the brethren.
God.
Can I? So you had asked. Your question was, are we supposed to run from the temptations and all that, right? Hide from the temptation, because you were saying you had crashed your car.
We're supposed to flee from evil, right? We're supposed to
Yeah, I was actually going to give you the scripture. I got 3 scriptures to give you. It's give me Ecclesiastes 21:2, if you don't mind.
Oh no, go ahead.
Then they got a question online.
Yeah. Okay.
Ecclesiastes chapter 21.
Question online?
Yeah.
Ecclesiastes chapter 21 verse 2.
Go ahead.
Flee from sin as from the face of a serpent.
So the scripture says to flee from sin as if it was a serpent, right? So you got into a car accident, and that made you not want to come out the house. Is driving a sin? No. So you
know what? My mindset was like, every time I get in a vehicle, am I gonna start getting in accidents? That was my mindset.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Let me just avoid going outside so that I don't have a reason to get in the vehicle.
But then you're looking at stuff wrong. Because was it about the vehicle?
No,
it wasn't.
Was it about the car accident? The car accident was the car accident was an amplification of you not paying attention. So you could be in the house and not pay attention to things, and things go wrong. You got to dissect your issue and say, well, what is the Most High trying to show me? You know, my attention to detail, walking circumspect.
Am I being reckless?
Am I driving right? Am I driving? But again, that's just an amplification of the other things around you. Am I reckless just in life? So you could avoid trying to be inside the house. You could avoid trying to drive all day, but if you don't see the root of the problem, Doesn't matter.
Con.
Because the problem is in other aspects of life.
Yeah.
So it's really about recognizing the problem.
The other one I was going to go to was go to Acts 14 and 22. Acts 14 and 22. So the actual stuff that's sin, yeah, you're supposed to flee from it. But the thing is that driving a car isn't. If you get into an accident, you already know that driving a car isn't a sin. But if you get into an accident, you're supposed to examine yourself and say, okay, how did I get into this accident? Why would the Most High let me get into this accident? Because if I was 5 seconds or 2 seconds slower or 2 seconds faster, I could have avoided this accident. But the Most High had this accident meet with me at the perfect time. Mm-hmm. So what is going wrong? What is the Most High trying to show me? Why he would let this happen to me? And if you suffered injury, then okay, that the Most High is really trying to show you something. But if you didn't suffer any injury, then the Most High, he's just trying to wake you up. But if you suffered some form of injury, then it's like you really got to stop and think and be like, okay, what am I doing or what am I not doing? Am I unbalanced? Am I overbalanced or am I underbalanced? Like, you got to stop and examine and see, okay, what's going on? Why did the Most High let this manifest itself into a car? Right. Am I paying attention, or am I not? Or am I paying attention to the things I need to pay attention to? Or am I being reckless? So am I talking reckless to my husband, or talking reckless to my wife, or to the congregation, or to my kids? What is it? Am I not paying attention, or I said not paying attention? But am I breaking the laws while driving? So does that mean, am I being disobedient to the Most High in any form of way? You got to look at it in that aspect. Like, what is, it's not just the car accident. It's not just that.
Can I say one thing too, just on that? Or, remember, we can't look at everything on one spectrum.
Right.
So you got to ask yourself too, you might have, I don't know if you did or not, I'm just saying, you might have said, Yahweh, I want a new vehicle. How's he gonna usher that in?
Even in that sense too, like.
Well, hold on before you start talking. You understand what I'm saying?
God.
Do you?
Yeah.
God.
Okay. Because remember, we might ask for something, but to get it, there may have to be a loss.
God.
And we lose in a way that we may not see it fit for us to lose it in that way. Like, I might sit here right now and say, I want a new car.
Because the scripture does say you have to bring out, you gotta bring out the old to bring in the new.
To bring in the new, but the Most High will bring out the old the way He sees fit.
Right.
So He might get this one smashed in pieces. I come out unscathed.
And the Edomite is crippled.
And but guess what? He got immaculate insurance. It was his fault. Paid off my vehicle. I walk right to the dealership and get another one.
Take care of it.
Just saying, we have to look at both sides of the spectrum and not just judge on one end.
After this, I'm done with it. But I don't want my rib driving the vehicle no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because it's just so much things that nah.
Well, the vehicle ain't got no
coming to you. Like, nah, I ain't gonna.
But the vehicle ain't got no power. The vehicle can't do good or bad. It's what you do with the vehicle.
Okay.
What you're doing in the vehicle. So think about it. When you say, no, I don't want you driving this car no more. Now, is the car defective? I can understand that. Like, do it got brake issues? If that's the case, then okay, I get that. But if it's like, well, I keep getting in car accidents, I don't want you to drive. Nah, that's something that's something going on with you and the Most High that He's trying to show you.
I like it.
He's trying to show you what's up. Now, again, it could be on two ends. It could be you're not paying attention, or it could be it's time to get Ricardo a new car.
Purging out the old.
But again, remember, my thoughts are not your thoughts, my ways are not your ways. We think like a new car got to be always. I walk into the dealership, I trade in my old car, they give me a great deal, and I'm happy, and I take a picture with the salesman. Right? Where I've seen brothers and sisters get a new car on the back end of an accident. Right? Right.
I'll give you a good example.
I mean, I'm just trying to show you to look at both sides and don't give the car so much power.
Like
the car has zero power. The car has zero spirit. You control the car. You control what you do in the car. And if you ain't moving right, like, is it the car when a cat drives down Bissonnette and picks up a hoe?
No.
Is it the car? Like, oh, yeah, I'm driving Kit, Knight Rider, and Knight Rider made me do it. No,
like,
it's you.
It like
your
stops
spirit.
and opens
It
the
stops,
door.
open the door. Come on in, babe. Right? The car starts talking. Nah, that's you controlling the device.
Right.
The Most High now, he'll use that same device to check you. That's what it is. He'll use the car to check you. The same thing if we put our spirit into these vehicles, houses, he'll use that, or women or possessions. He uses those things. You putting your spirit in the wrong people, he'll use those things to check you, to show you, no, don't cast your pearl to swine. No, this car don't have no power, but I'm going to give it the power over you. Watch. I'm going to let this car check you. You see what I'm saying? Or, like I said, it could be Most High is like, time to get a new whip. And let's do it this way.
So now, like, in the sense of, like, David and the temptations and all, like, the whole just breakdown of it, it's like, all right, it's my spirit yearning for, like, it's been said before, though, already, but my spirit yearning for these specific temptations that Satan himself is going to come and just start using the same card over and over again.
Say that one more time. I didn't understand.
Like, okay, if I'm tempted one specific type of way, and I'm not fixing it because I don't see it, I'm blind to it, or I just don't care for it, or I'm hiding it or anything like that, then Satan's just gonna come and just using that same temptation, and so therefore that day's still evil, or is like I just want it, I'm just wicked.
It's still evil. It's like if a cat, again, I'm gonna use the Bissonette thing, the hoes on Bissonette. If a cat keep ending up in the clinic because he's knocking down Bissonette chicks, the whole stole tricks, right? Isn't that a bad thing for him? Now, just because he don't recognize that, don't mean that it's not bad for him to be in the clinic catching STDs, and that's gonna keep happening until what? Until he recognizes, like, damn, let me stop catching STDs. How am I doing it? Oh, well, I keep knocking down randoms, right? So let me stop going down Bissonette, picking up hoes. Let me stop going to my temptation. Let me find a different way home. Oh, well, that's the only. Well, I live that way, and that's the only way home. No, it ain't. You better take the long way home. Well, every time I drive down Bissonette, I get tempted, right? And because, you know, they be walking down there butt naked, basically. They be out there naked now, right? But, and obviously nobody in here is doing that, and I'm using an extreme, I don't know any brother that, I don't know any body that's picked up any chicks on Bissonette. I've seen it. But y'all see what I'm saying, right? Don't give in to the temptation. Don't drive that way. Hit right here, Gessner, shoot Gessner up, Belfort down to 59. Gessner this way, 59, down to Bel Air, boom. I give you all the different ways home to not take Bissonette if it's a temptation.
Right.
if it's a snare. Right. But you have to develop the thought process that, wait a minute, I can't fall to Satan's snares. And I'm using that as an instance. Think about it. A cat that smokes weed. First of all, you gotta get the temptation, the urge. Then you got to dial the weed man. You got to get up out your house. You got to meet the weed man. You got to go buy the zigzags, the Philly, the blunt wrap, whatever.
It's a whole process.
It's a process. You got to roll the blunt. You got to lick it, light it with the lighter, right? Even rolling the blunt's a process.
And the whole time,
you got to break the weed down.
Your conscience should be.
And the whole time in your mind, you should be like, no, don't smoke, no, don't smoke. But the whole time, you're like, oh, I'm about to get this. And you rolling it up. That's my favorite weed roll, right? And then you still got to put it in your mouth and light it. And then you got to... Right? There's a 50 million steps to smoking a blunt if you don't have it already prepped right there in front of you. You see what I'm saying? But let's kill the temptation. Let's just delete the weed man's number. The temptation will always be there, but let me delete the avenue to follow the temptation. The temptation will be there until you fight, until you beat the temptation. Right? That's how anything is. But let me destroy the avenue that leads me down that road. Well, I don't have the weed man's number. I don't have any weed man's number. Right? So now I'm tempted, but I got no way to get it. Right?
I got a scripture for what you just said.
Yeah, go ahead.
James chapter 1 and verse 15.
And we'll go to Dorothy's question on the topic. Go ahead, read it.
Yeah, I'll read it. Then when lust had conceived, it bringeth forth sin.
Yeah. No, read up.
Con. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust.
See, a temptation is when you're drawn away. That's what it's telling you. Every man is tempted when he's drawn away. So you can be a person that's getting off of drugs, and the temptation hits you, Because it's going to, right? That's how Satan works. He's going to work off of the things that were weaknesses. But the temptation is really when you actually follow it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Come.
When you actually, now let's go to Yahweh Shai. Now, we know he wasn't on drugs or anything like that, but it said he was tempted in all matter. So you think that cats wasn't going to roll up on Yahweh Shai like, hey, hit this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, they were. Said he was tempted in all matter that we were tempted in. So they were like, man, hit this. He had little skeezers running up on him, trying to rub him down.
And then he sat with Republicans and senators.
Right, he sat with the right. So he definitely was trying. They were trying to entice him on every level.
Come.
But he was never tempted to the level of being drawn away into whatever. So it says, read it again.
But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust.
Go ahead.
And enticed.
Right, when you're drawn away and enticed. Yahweh Shai was never enticed. Go ahead.
Then when lust had conceived.
Right, then what does it mean? Lust conceives.
Birth.
Huh?
Birth.
It's like a birth, right? It's like, damn, now all of a sudden the lust, it's not just one idea. Now you got 50 different ideas to chase the lust. Mm-hmm. Now you got a few other feelings behind the first feeling. Damn, I'm gonna get high. Oh snap, I'm gonna get drunk. Damn, look at that big booty over there. I'm gonna get that too. We're gonna have a threesome.
It just multiplied and it's
yeah, you just
the actions are getting ready to
multiplied
happen.
your weed demon into alcohol demon, lust demon, party demon. Now you got the 4-piece happening, right? You back at the loft smoking weed and sniffing crack. Right? Like, damn, like how did I go from just weed?
Sniffing crack.
Coke? Sniffing Coke. My bad. Right? But how did I go from being a crackhead? I just started out with weed. Well, because my lust conceived all these other thoughts. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
It bringeth forth sin.
And now this is what the armor prevents, though.
Come.
The armor prevents all these different things from being conceived in your mind. Right. Bringing it back to the topic. Right? If you're armored up, you won't. You'll be tempted. It's like when a cat got his chainmail on and you hit him, bam, with the sword, and he just stands there like, ha ha. Right? Like you're trying to tempt him.
I would be like,
right? But you didn't do anything to that man's flesh. You didn't cut him.
Nah.
The armor took the blow.
Con.
He's able to move on. Right? You hit it. You ever watch like 300? You watched 300. They weren't really armored up. They had their whole chest out.
Yeah.
Right? But they did have. No, they had. Oh, the
had
armor
shields.
had the shields.
They had
Right?
shields.
But them arrows. When them arrows came and blocked out the sun, they all put their shields up, and they were just sitting there talking to each other like, so what you cooking for dinner tonight?
Yeah. Right.
Right. They was just sitting there like, these arrows ain't doing nothing.
Exactly.
Right? So go ahead, read on.
It bringeth forth sin.
It bringeth forth sin because now you're just in the acts. Now you're falling to Satan. Now you're falling to the deception of whatever vice it is that you have. There's many different vices, right? There's many. Weed is a vice. Alcohol is a vice. Women are a vice. Men are a vice for women. Or sex is a vice. Shopping is a vice. Anything you give your soul to and put it over the Most High, that's a vice, and Satan can use it. Go ahead. Work is a vice. You got people that are workaholics, shopaholics, crackaholics, weedaholics, drinkaholics, right? Alcoholics. A lick. Anything with a lick behind it is a damn addictive. Go ahead.
And sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death.
Right. So we're not going to go back and forth with the weed smoking. That's like a big thing on. I don't understand. Do y'all not understand that these topics recycle? Yahweh Shai drunk wine, that's no sin. So is smoking weed. Smoking weed is definitely a sin because that's not what it was created for. Wine was created to drink. Herb was created to eat. We can get that real fast, and then I'm not going to debate on it. Go to Genesis chapter 1, verse 11. Right? Let's go to Genesis chapter 1, verse 11. We're not going to argue back and forth on the weed thing.
Genesis chapter 1 and verse 11.
Go ahead, read that real quick.
And the Most High said, let earth bring forth grass, and herb yielding seed.
Right.
And the fruit tree yielding fruit.
Right.
After his kind.
Read.
Whose seed is within itself.
Go ahead.
Upon the earth. And it was so.
Right. I wanted, my bad. Go to verse 29.
Verse 29.
Right.
And the Most High said, Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed,
Right?
which is upon the face of all the earth.
So he gave us the herb from the beginning. Go ahead.
And every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed.
Go ahead.
To you it shall be for meat.
Right, so the herb was for meat. Now I'll hit you with this one. Is weed good when it's taken out of moderation? Or not weed? Is alcohol good when you're drunk? When you're a drunkard? No, that's when it's turned to sin, because it's taken out of its use. So again, I'm not gonna go back and forth. Did we smoke weed back in the day? That was off. Yes. The bro said he puts it in his tea. You can use it for a tea. You can use it for an oil, for topical rubs. People use it to wash their hair. There's many different uses for the cannabis plant than just to smoke it. Any real person that ingests cannabis will tell you smoking is the least effective way to be healed from it. But it's the least effective way to consume it. Right?
I was gonna say also that's why
go
when you
off
smoke
topic.
it, you cough.
Right, because your body is rejecting it.
Because your body is rejecting. You only cough if something is wrong in your body. If your body is rejecting, or you're sick, or your body's trying to get something out, that's why you cough. Or if there's some form of irritation, that's why you'll cough. Same thing with a sneeze. So, I mean, it shows you in itself when you smoke, especially if it's strong weed. You smoke that and you cough.
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah.
They had an actual question. So y'all get that you get that, right, Ricardo? Will the Most High ever rid us of the spiritual demon Satan? Yeah. Yeah. Go to Revelations. Go to Revelation in the kingdom. Satan ain't gonna be there with us. Hell no. Go to Revelations 21 and verse 1. Right?
1 and verse 1, sir.
21 and verse 1. I'm gonna go here, then he'll go to his, and then we'll jump back to the topic.
Revelation chapter 21, verse 1.
We're showing that Satan will be in the kingdom with us. Go ahead.
And I saw a new heaven
Right?
and a new earth.
Right?
For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away.
Right?
And there was no more sea.
Right. Now jump down to verse 4.
And God,
So we know the new heaven, new earth, this is the new kingdom. Go ahead, this is the kingdom on earth. Read.
and God shall wipe away all tears
Right.
from their eyes.
Right.
And there shall be no more death.
So what brings death?
Sin.
Sin. Who brings the sin to our front door?
Devil.
Satan, right? Now he catches us through our temptations that we just read through. That's what he uses, our temptations. Then he uses our sin. He said your sins will be your accusers. There ain't gonna be no sin in the kingdom. Go ahead, read on.
Neither sorrow,
Right? Who brings us sorrow? Satan. Go ahead.
nor crying.
Right?
Neither shall there be any more pain.
Who brings the pain? Satan. Well, look at Job. All you gotta do is look at the story of Job. That's not gonna be happening in the kingdom. Go ahead.
For the former things are passed away.
Yeah, all that negativity, all that evil is going to be passed away. Go to verse 27.
Yes, sir. And there shall in no wise enter into it anything that defileth.
Right, so nothing is going to enter into the kingdom that's defiled. Satan is defiled, and he defiles everything around him. Again, with the lying, with the cheating, with the stealing, with the hatred. Go ahead.
Neither whatsoever worketh abomination.
Right, so they don't be no weed smoking up in the damn kingdom. Ain't gonna be no, what y'all think? Y'all gonna walk around the kingdom of heaven with a blunt hanging from your lips, smelling like smoke?
Smelling stink.
Smelling, just smelling bad, just smelling like 30-year-old weed and Philly wraps. Like, what do y'all think?
Breath
Come on now,
stink,
breath
teeth
just
yellow.
smell, yeah. Like, what y'all think? Like, we gonna be walking around the kingdom of heaven like we are here in America? Nigga, we might as well not go.
Heaven does not have a ghetto.
You know what's
We might as well just stay here in America
Come.
because weed is legal here,
Right.
in all 50 states. So we might as well just stay here, right?
It's pushed.
We might as well stay here. If we can smoke weed in the kingdom, what's the point?
Right.
I don't want none of that in the kingdom,
Con.
right? Read on,
Or maketh a lie.
or make it they lie. Go ahead.
But they which are written in the Lamb's book of life.
Right now, go to the one in Ezekiel real fast.
You know what's a
About
very
the branch?
easy way?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I got you. You know what's a very easy way to look at if weed is legal or not, right? Because obviously it doesn't say it in the
Yeah,
scriptures, right?
that's all.
But just think about it. Why? Just think about it real quick. The Most High got rid of sacrificing of the animals, right?
Right.
And that's the only part of the law that really that was taken away. What part of the law, if you do it, there's a chance of you going to jail?
What
If
law?
you-
Our law?
Nah, like just the law that the Most High gave
The
us.
biblical law, right?
The biblical law. What part of that law could get you locked up in Esau's jail? Or it can get you a charge, or it can get you. Again, if you were sacrificing animals, that could have got you, but the Most High took that away. So what?
Putting a homosexual to death.
What in? Okay, if you put up, but even that, right? What part of the law will get you in jail? We already know we can't murder nobody.
Gone.
So, and even like the homosexuality thing, like what part of the law? And the point I'm getting at is this: if the Most High wanted weed to be legal, where we could actually smoke it, we wouldn't be going to jail here in America for it. I mean, if you just use common sense and you just when you read the scripture, you think about how the Most High has set everything up for us, because weed is such a big thing in the whole 12 tribes, not just here in America, but of course in Jamaica and of course in South America. So if it was a big thing, if it's a big thing and the Most High knew it was going to be a big part of our lives, why would the Most High have it legal if it was so beneficial? And now we know it's beneficial in many different ways, but why would the Most High make it illegal? You see what I'm saying? It wouldn't make sense. The Most High wouldn't have did that. And again, you always say it too, like, how come we don't smoke rosemary? How come we don't smoke thyme? How come we don't smoke all these other herbs? We only smoke weed because weed gives off the THC gives off that hallucinogen. And I mean, keep it real. You just love being high. The scripture says to be sober. You smoke weed because you love to be high. That's a lustful thing. Because the scripture says be sober. I mean, I can hit 10 scriptures right now where it just talks about being sober. But
now
think about it. I mean, just to finish it, because I had a weed problem when I came in. But I knew that in the back of my mind and in my spirit, I knew that weed was wrong. And no matter how hard I tried to make it seem like weed was right, I knew it was wrong. Because guess what? The only reason I wanted to smoke weed was because I liked being high. Look at our nation right now. They don't got no money. If they got $20 left, and I'm speaking from experience, if I had $20 left back in the world, I'm gonna spend $15 on a gram, and that extra $5 is going to my gas tank.
I got a question. It says put on the whole armor of God. Where in there does it say to put on weed? Where does it say to get high? Like, was that part of the armor?
No.
Was that part of it? Now they say they're throwing things into the chat, so let me answer one thing at a time. Hit that Ezekiel for me, 8.
Ezekiel, who got it? Ezekiel chapter 8.
Verse 17.
Yep.
Ezekiel 8:17.
Right.
Then he said unto me, hast thou seen this, O son of man? Is it a light thing
Right.
to the house of Judah?
It is. Y'all take it like it's nothing. Like, oh, it's just a little weed. The sad part is, man, it's crazy that a simple little plant has so much control over over a grown man and grown women. A simple plant, a herb, has more control over you than the actual spirit. That's why the Most High said it is a light thing. Go ahead.
To the house of Judah.
Right.
That they commit the abomination.
They do what?
Commit the abomination.
Now, from what I remember, you said, and there shall no wise enter anything that defileth, neither whatsoever worketh abomination. That's going to be in the kingdom. Go ahead.
Which they commit here.
Right. That they commit where?
Here.
Here. The things you do here ain't making it. Why is this so hard for brothers and sisters to understand? Like, a damn effeminate won't make it into the kingdom. You think a weed smoking dummy is going to make it? No. Go ahead, read on.
For they have filled the land with violence.
Now we know a drunkard ain't making it into the kingdom either. No. Scriptures tell you that about it. You can't be a drunkard in the kingdom, right? They says they have filled the world with violence. Go ahead.
And have returned to provoke me to anger.
Go ahead.
And lo, they put the branch to their nose.
And they do what?
Wow. Put the branch to their nose.
Yeah, and that's all Judah care about is just getting high, waking and baking.
John.
getting lifted, putting the branch to your nose. That's all you care about, man.
Right.
It's sad, and that's what the main thing is. That's the main thing destroying our people. That's the gateway. The gateway is weed. Then you go to your pills, because the weed is a downer. Then you got to go to the pills for the upper. Then you got to take the alcohol for the downer. Then you got to take more pills to balance out. And next thing you know, again, you got a four-way going. Pills, weed, alcohol, and cocaine, right? Just throw that in there.
Sniffing crack.
Sniffing crack.
No, actually, you got weed, lean, pills, cocaine,
promethazine,
and then your liquor.
All these things in conjunction.
All catering to the flesh.
All the stuff your rappers talk about, pounds and smelling like sticky icky and skunk and all that. Bro, nobody's going to be walking through the kingdom smelling like a skunk. Like skunk weed. Or smelling like sticky. Like, y'all got to stop it, man. Now, let's go, because y'all made the statement. Y'all are just making these statements, and I know y'all ain't reading the Bible. I know y'all ain't reading. The scripture say, hold on, one sec. It says, let me just say this. It says no wine or strong drink in the kingdom either. Now that's wrong also. Let's go to what Yahushua said. What?
That's what Yahushua said.
Right.
Luke 22:18.
Right. No. Yeah. Go to Matthew. No. Go to Matthews. There's a few of them. Well, let's go to. I had one. Let's go to Matthews 26 and 29. Out of Yahushua's mouth, himself. And I know we're kind of getting a little bit off topic, but see, this all goes with the armor. This goes all with Satan deceiving the masses, man. You cats getting deceived over wine and weed, thinking that that's going to be in the kingdom. We know that there's no drunkard in the kingdom. We know that wine is not wicked. Drinking in moderation and in season. Read what it says. What did Christ say out of his own mouth about drinking in the kingdom?
Matthew chapter 26 and verse 29.
Go ahead.
But I say unto you, I will not drink henceforth of this fruit of the vine.
Read.
Until that day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom.
Read it one more time.
Yes, sir. But I say unto you,
right?
I will not drink henceforth of this fruit of the vine until that day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom.
He said, until that day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom. So yeah, we definitely gonna be drinking in the kingdom. But are we gonna be running around like drunk idiots? No, we're not. We're gonna be drinking in moderation and righteousness. What's a party without a little booze?
It's probably gonna be so good. We don't want to finish.
It's gonna be a party in the kingdom. What you think? We're gonna just be in there somber and just we're gonna be happy as hell to be in the kingdom. But we know we're not gonna be getting high in the kingdom. Right? So you guys remember, man, if y'all gonna make statements, you gotta be careful what you're throwing out on the chat, because you can if you throw out the wrong things, man, you can deceive. You can deceive. The scriptures say, be not many masters, knowing that you'll receive the greater condemnation. Y'all got to be careful what y'all put on the chat. If you don't know what you're talking about, it says put a hand over your mouth. Be ready to hear it and give the sacrifice of fools. Right? Let's see what else real quick.
Can I say this last thing too?
Go ahead.
I was going to say also, like, just think about how many brothers and sisters from the whole 12 tribes, from America to South America to the islands, are in jail right now over weed. Over weed.
Or had a charge.
Or been
locked up.
A job.
Yeah.
The Most High's will is for us to prosper. The Most High's will is not for us to be in jail. But I can honestly say that half of our people, 50% of our people that's in jail for non-violent crimes is probably in jail over weed.
A sack.
Over
an ounce.
weed.
A roach.
Now think about it. Just think about it. Why would that be the Most High's intention? Why would that be his intention? I mean, it makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. So, but again, like, I used to be a weed smoker, but weed is just like any other thing. If weed is your vice, you want weed to be legal. You want weed to be lawful because you like to be high. It has nothing to do with the scriptures. You just like to be high. That's all it is.
Yeah.
If you like porn, you like porn because you're lustful. You like it because of that. If you like, what else is out there that people are addicted to, or people money. If people like all that, they like it because it's just what they like. But you can't come and try to make it a part of the scriptures because that's what you like, or because that's what you want to do. That's wrong.
You can't
It's
do
like
it.
strip clubs. Does the Bible say don't go to a strip club? No, it doesn't. But common sense and wisdom will tell you don't go to a strip club. Why would you be seen in a strip club? But why would you go to a strip club? Because you like it. You like the lust of it. That's why anybody sins. That's why people sin, because you like it. But you can't come and try to intertwine it into the Bible. Why is a homosexual a homosexual? Because they like it. But what are the homosexuals trying to do, especially in these churches? It's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. They're trying to make it a part of the Bible. But it's clear and obvious that it's not in the Bible. And I'm going to leave it off at this. Weed is such a big thing in the 12 tribes community and in the Israelite life right now that if weed was lawful, you would have seen it anywhere. You would have seen it somewhere in the Bible. When I say weed is lawful, to smoke weed. If smoking weed was lawful, you would have seen it clear as day in the scriptures. Why? Because that's what our people wake up and do.
Okay.
That's what our people wake up and do, and they'll do it all day. You would have read it somewhere in here that we did that. Just yeah.
Can I get just go to Romans chapter 10 and verse 3? And this is the problem in a nutshell with our people when it comes to this damn weed smoking demon. Like they say, brothers are saying it. It's a folly. You tripped over this in the world. You couldn't even get high right without getting in trouble. And then you want to bring it into the word. You want to bring it into the word of righteousness. Read that for me. Romans 10 and verse 3.
Romans chapter 10 and verse 3.
And then we'll move on.
For they being ignorant of the Most High's righteousness.
They what?
Ignorant of the Most High's righteousness.
Go ahead. No. Let's start at verse 1.
Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to God for Israel.
Now, y'all see I'm not turned up. I'm not yelling. I'm not screaming. Right? Just trying to edify. Go ahead, read.
Is that they might be saved.
Right. Paul's whole thing was for Israel to be saved. Our whole thing is for all Israel to be saved. But you got to want to come out of the things that are stopping you from attaining righteousness. Like this damn weed demon. This porn, like this sloth. It's not just weed that our people are caught up on. It's damn porn and video games. And damn sports and the whack music. I could go through all of it.
Yep.
Go ahead.
For I bear them record that they have a zeal of God.
Right? They have a what?
A zeal of God.
They have a what?
A zeal of God.
Yeah, we understand the zeal is there, but what's not? Read.
But not according to knowledge.
Not according to knowledge. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You got to put those three parts to get it. We know it don't say thou shalt not smoke weed. Right. But don't it say don't defile your temple? Now, would you walk into a building that was burning?
No.
And inhale? No, you probably wouldn't do that, right? Because it's smoke. Right. What comes from the blunt when you smoke it? Smoke. That's why they call it smoking. Right. Go ahead.
For they being ignorant of God's righteousness.
See, and this is the problem. Our people are ignorant, not knowing. You trying to sew on new cloth into an old garment, or vice versa. Old cloth on a new garment. You trying to put old wine in new bottles. We can't do that. That's why when we come with, look, boom, the understanding, boom, it breaks your mind. It's like it breaks the matrix. And all we're trying to show you is, wait a minute, what is the righteousness of the Most High? Does it say, just show me. If weed smoking was this big thing to attain some spiritual level, how come Christ didn't do it? You never read, like in Yahushua and the 12, they rolled up and played dice.
Man.
These niggas was shooting craps, rolling up and hitting and drinking 40s.
It was passing the blunt.
They was passing, and they rolled up 3 bunts and passed them in a cipher. Right. You never hear that. I know I'm being facetious, but you never hear it is what I'm saying. If that was a big part of our culture, Hebrew culture, how come you didn't hear Abraham and he was high off the peyote?
Right.
How come you don't hear about Jacob or Noah? The first thing he did when he hopped off the boat was just get faded off of the weed.
Crazy.
Go ahead.
You know what's crazy? Mm-hmm. What's one of the first things that you learn about American history? Because this is our history, but so if that was a big part of our history, it would be in there. But one of the first things that I learned about America's history when I took American history in college,
right?
The first day I learned that when they came over here, when the Americans came, when the white folks came over here, they planted tobacco because that was their
crop. Yeah,
and they smoked it.
Yeah.
And that's why they kept going west, because the tobacco plant destroys the earth, and it takes years
For the earth
to recover.
Yep.
So they'll destroy the side that they had, and they kept having to go west for new land to keep planting this tobacco plant. But again, they told you that in their history because it was a big part of what they did. But it's not in ours. Why? Because it was never a part of what we did.
Now, because I'm just going, it said either it's unlawful or not, no matter how it's consumed. Again, you got to be careful of the things you throw out there because that's wrong. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 39 and verse 25. Remember, be ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools. What you're typing is not making sense with what the Bible is saying, is what I'm trying to show you. Because metal, they use iron, right? They use iron to make guns to kill people. Is iron unlawful?
No.
Lie.
Right. It's not. It's not an unlawful thing. They use fire to burn down houses. Is fire unlawful because of the way it's used? No. Just like the herb was created for a purpose, we as man, being ignorant of God's righteousness, going about to establish our own, we turn it into evil. Read what the Bible says. Let's deal with that. Ecclesiastes 39 and verse 25. Read.
Ecclesiastes chapter 39, verse 25.
Go ahead.
For the good are good things created from the beginning.
Right, so for the good, it says, for the good are good things created from the beginning. So I'm going to read it one time. Genesis chapter 1 and verse 29. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth. So ganja, cannabis, that was there.
Right.
That was there from the beginning.
Right.
He gave it to us. Right? But it was a purpose that he gave it to us for, which is upon the face of the earth. And every tree. And think about it. He gave us poisonous trees, didn't he? Poison ivy, poison oak. He gave us trees that are poison. He gave us fruit. Like if you go to Jamaica and you eat ackee, right? And you pull ackee off the tree, that's the fruit, that's the dish of Jamaica. But if you pull that fruit off the tree before it opens up itself, it's poisonous no matter how much you cook it.
Dang.
You gotta wait for that ackee to open up. It's like a pod, it opens up and you see the little black seed. Then you know it's edible. But if it's closed and you force him open, you'll die. Right?
Right.
Just throwing that out there. So he gave us different types of herbs and trees and fruit.
Right.
You got to know how to eat the fruit in this season when it's ready. Right? Think about it. Let's just think about a mango. When a mango ain't ripe and you pull it off the tree and it's green, it's hard. You can't do nothing with that.
Right.
It's sour, it's hard, and you can't even bite into it. You got to get them when he's nice and yellowish, orange, greenish, reddish
soft
tint, soft. You pull them down, you bite into that skin. Oh, wow, it's sweet. Nice little tang, citrus, mango, right? Everything in its time and in its season and its purpose. Every tree in which is the fruit of the tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. Meat, medicine, right?
Right.
Consume. Hey, no, you ain't done.
Yes, sir.
Right? So read verse 25 in Ecclesiastes.
For the good are good things created from the beginning.
Right?
So evil things for sinners.
Go ahead.
The
And that's why weed is evil. It's evil for the sinners when you misuse it. When you abuse it. Go ahead.
The principal things for the whole use of man's life.
Right, now why did he go through these? Why did he start with that statement and then go through these principal things? Because these principal things that he gave us for life, people misuse them. People abuse them. And they turn them into an evil thing.
Right.
Watch, read.
Water.
And if you're saying stop with the BS, if you're calling the Bible BS, then log off. That's all you got to do, but we're going to finish the scripture and move on. Go ahead.
Sir.
Our water.
Right?
Fire.
Water. How can water be a thing that's evil?
You can make it poisonous. You can drown somebody in it.
Right? You can drown somebody, but think about it. They charge you for something that's free.
Right.
They what was the dude, the owner of Pepsi? The owner of Pepsi. He was like, "Yeah, I own this. I own the water supply of this lake." They were going and trying to take lakes over or something like that. I forgot what it was to use that water to make Pepsi and Dasani water and all that stuff.
Right.
Going through and wiping out indigenous people to get their water supply.
Right.
Go ahead, read on.
Fire.
Right.
Iron.
Right.
And salt.
Fire, iron, and salt. How is salt evil? Well, if you eat too much salt, there goes your blood pressure.
Right.
How is iron evil? Well, popping niggas in the face with bullets.
Right.
Right?
You can't have too much iron in your body either.
And there's another one. You can't have too much iron in your body. But I'm taking it to the extreme. They take iron, you build a house with it, but at the same time, they build a damn gun. The machine guns and tanks. Go ahead.
Flour of wheat.
Right, flour of wheat. How is that? Again, charging you for something that's freely grown. Monsanto, GMO. Go ahead, read on.
Honey.
Right?
Milk.
Right? Look at the milk. Look at the honey. They wiping the bees out. Look at the milk. It's all pus and blood.
Right.
They take the good part of the milk out and sell you the pus and the blood, and they put the stuff that's good for you, they put that in GNC and hit you for $50.
Yup.
Read on.
And the blood of the grape.
And the blood of the grape. He said it was created from the beginning. How is the blood of the grape misused? Well, when you got our people, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, lining up at 9 a.m., 10 a.m. in front of the liquor store to get the plastic bottle of McCormick's, right? Get the bumpy knuckles, the gin, right?
Bumpy, that's what it's called?
Yeah, because a bottle is bumpy.
Kind of.
Right?
The signal.
Lining up to get the yak and just drunk off their face. You know, Issachar's tradition is to be drunk all Sunday. Tell me if I'm wrong. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's a siesta all, right? But Judah is the same way. Benjamin is the same damn way.
I was with them.
Niggas will take Guinnesses just right down the pipe all day and be faded all day, all weekend, all summer. And then now what happens? I jump behind the car that was made from iron. I run into somebody. I jump behind the gun because I can't control my emotions. I kill somebody. Right? Remember, we're not against the plant. We're against the use of the plant.
That's right.
Marijuana is not unlawful, but it's the way it's used that makes it unlawful. Drinking ain't unlawful. It's the moderation or the lack thereof that makes it unlawful. I'm not against marijuana. I'm not against hemp. I'm not against it. I'm against the way it's used, and then people come like, oh yeah, see, it's lawful to smoke. No, it's not. Is it lawful to smoke tobacco? How come you just don't smoke tobacco then?
Right, exactly.
If it was about healing, I always ask, like, why don't you just smoke rosemary and oregano? They got more healing power than ganja. Go look it up. Antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal, anti-aging, anti-this, anti-that. There's a lot of antis in oregano oil. There's a lot of antis in rosemary oil. Clove. How come you don't smoke cloves? Clove is an antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal. You got toothaches, a little clove oil, boom, numb your whole mouth. How come you ain't smoking crack? That's from the earth. Oh, because you'll lose a few teeth in the leg.
There's nowhere in the Bible says thou shalt not smoke crack.
And nowhere in the Bible says, but because you'll lose a leg and some teeth, and you see what crackheads look like. But guess what? Weed heads and crackheads don't look no different.
No.
The mentality is the same. You're skinny as hell. You don't.
It's like
the
the
care
Bible.
for the body ain't there.
Right.
Like I know a few weed heads. I know a few crackheads.
Right.
So what we're trying to show you that we're not against the plant itself. We know what it was created for. Right? Go to Romans real quick. He said he created the herbs, right? He gave us the herbs. Go to Romans 14 and verse 1 real quick. And then we'll end it here. And then we'll part two the actual class. We'll part two the actual class. And then, we'll put together a nice little weed class for y'all. I see that it's needed.
Hey, I was going to say, you had misread the brother Brandon Daniels.
No, I didn't misread. I know he's with it.
Yeah.
I know what he's saying.
No, you had misread when he said.
Oh, no, he didn't say it.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, did he?
He was talking about to the other
dude.
brother.
He wasn't saying it to
Oh, Salat. I'm sorry, Brandon. I know he was riding with us. I thought the other brother said that. I'm sorry. Salat, yeah. I apologize for that. Go to Romans 14 and verse 1.
Romans chapter 14 verse 1.
Right.
Him that is weak in the faith,
Right.
receive ye,
Go ahead.
but not to doubtful disputation.
Verse 2 is what I want. Read.
For one believeth that he may eat all things.
Right.
Another, who is weak, eateth herbs.
Right. He eateth the herbs. The herbs was made to rebuild you. It was medicine, meat. Now, show me where it says if you smoke a tree, you're transgressing the law. Well, let's just use man, I wish my son was here. He's 6 years old. I wish he was here so he could break it down for us. So when you smoke, right? When you light anything with fire, right? When you light anything with fire, I don't care if it's a piece of paper, right? If you light it with fire and you inhale it, the smoke goes into your lungs, right?
Right. You inhale
and then
that.
you inhale that, and it causes smoke inhalation.
Yes.
Your lungs get filled up with smoke, but your lungs are supposed to be filled up with what?
Oxygen.
Oxygen, right? What happens when you got too much carbon in your lungs?
Yeah.
That's when you choke out and die,
Kill you, yeah.
right? That's what the smoke is. It's carbon. So your lungs is made to breathe oxygen, not smoke.
Right.
That's why when you inhale, you're like, oh, even when you burn a piece of toast, if you stand over it and inhale the smoke, you'll cough. And that's just wheat and bread, right? You burn some chicken, you stand there, the smoke detector goes off. Your lungs will fill up, you start to cough. Oh, damn, wait, right? Because no smoke was meant to go into your temple. Now go to Corinthians, give me that one, right? Defile the temple. Now, remember, this is only applicable, like the scriptures say, he that have an ear, let him hear.
Right.
And your spirit got to bear witness. So this only matters if your spiritual eye and your spiritual understanding is open.
Right.
That's it, without any interference from any outside source, like liquor, like smoking of anything, any type of drugs, any type of opioids, any type of influence other than the spirit. That's why he said, be not filled with wine. And the wine was representation of not just drinking wine, but any type of thing that could influence you, but be filled with the wine in excess will be filled with the spirit.
Right.
So we got to understand how the Bible is talking. So we know that smoke of any kind, it doesn't matter what you burn, if you stand over it and smoke and inhale it, you're going to cough. And it's going to defile your lungs. Right? And things like that happen by accident. You might be cooking some chicken, you look away, you burn it. Oh, damn. Right?
Yeah,
But now what happens when you purposely do it? You're purposely defiling your temple.
Oh, it's even like when we burn the frankincense and myrrh.
But even when we burn the frankincense and myrrh, we don't just sit over it because it's frankincense and myrrh and inhale. Even when you cooking a barbecue, if you barbecue enough, you don't stand over the barbecue coals because you jerking some chicken. Nah, them coals will hit you and you like, whoa, and the fumes hit your eyes and you backing away. Anybody that ever barbecued, we just barbecued last week. The coals, the flame, the burning, all that smoke starts getting to you. You got to step away. Now, I get it. When you're smoking your little blunt, it's not as much smoke as like a barbecue or an open flame. That's why it's tolerable after a while. That's why you can tolerate it. But I guarantee you, put a bunch of weed in a building and walk in, light it and walk in, you would not be able to tolerate it. You'd die from smoke inhalation. Your lungs would fill up with smoke and you would die. Right? Or am I wrong? Like, is weed different when you light a bunch of it? It don't burn the same?
They'll burn.
Right? I would imagine that if you took piles of tons of weed and put it in this building and lit it, and we all stood in here, before we got high, we'd die from smoke inhalation.
Yeah.
It's like you try to hotbox something, like no one can stay in there for a while.
For too
Like
long.
down a window.
Because that's smoke, because your lungs need oxygen.
Right.
That's what they're made to do. So let's go to Corinthians, right? Where it says defiling your temple. You asked us to show you, so I'm showing.
1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 13.
Go ahead.
What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost which is in you?
It's the what?
The temple of the Holy Ghost which is in you.
Now I want you to pause right there. Go to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 1. So if your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit,
Right.
that means that no other spirit can inhabit it, right?
Right.
Right. Go to Wisdom of Solomon 1 and verse 3.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 3.
Go ahead.
For forward thoughts.
No, I'm sorry. Wisdom of Solomon 1 and verse, what do I want? 1 and verse 4.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 4.
Right.
For into a malicious soul wisdom shall not enter.
Go ahead.
Nor dwell in the body that is subject unto sin.
Now check this out. Read verse 5.
For the Holy Spirit of discipline
So the Holy Spirit, go ahead.
will flee deceit.
It will do what?
Flee deceit.
It's going to flee deceit. What else?
And remove from thoughts that are without
Right.
understanding.
Go ahead.
And will not abide when unrighteousness cometh in.
Right. So you don't have the Spirit when you're smoking. It's telling you that when you start smoking and you put that spirit in, the Holy Spirit is gone from you.
Like, why would you want to be paranoid?
Right? Why would you like you smoking weed and you get paranoid? Paranoia is not part of the spirit.
Right.
Scripture says, "Be not anxious for anything, but with all things supper and prayer and supplication." But it's telling you here, the Holy Spirit flees a body that's subject to sin. So you can't inhabit your body with two spirits. It says that. Read it one more time, song.
What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost,
Right.
which is in you?
Right? So your body is the temple for the Spirit of the Most High. Not the ganja spirit, not the ganja gods, not Bob Marley's damn spirit, not Snoop Dogg's spirit, not, what's the other retard that smokes all the time? Wiz Khalifa. Not their spirits, but the Spirit of the Most High.
Right.
So the Bible is letting us know both these spirits can't coincide.
Right.
Spirit of the Most High Spirit will leave that temple
Right.
when they see some defilement.
Right.
Go ahead, read on.
Which ye have of God,
Right.
and ye are not your own.
And see, this is not your body to try to dictate what you put in it anyway. He tells us what to put in it and how to use what to put in it. See, that's the problem. Again, Romans 3:10 and verse 3, going about to establish your own righteousness. That's the problem. We got to stop trying to establish our own righteousness and do what the Most High said. Use the herb for medicine. Don't smoke it, but use it for all. For the, you got to think about it. How come? Because Esau is so big on medicines and they're all into that, right?
Right.
When their little kids be having seizures and falling out, how come they don't put the weed to their mouth
Exactly.
and let them hit the blunt? What do? They get the oil, drop a few on their tongue, and all of a sudden, and they're regular again, right?
Right.
They drop the oil on their tongue, sublingually, they'll put it under the tongue, right? Or they'll use some type of topical
Right.
ointment or some rub. But you never see like, oh yeah, let me hand my little 5-year-old that got seizures a blunt.
No.
It's counterproductive. I'm going to get rid of the seizures but give you lung cancer?
Stupid.
I mean, right? Read on real quick.
For ye are bought with a price.
Wait, and what was that price?
Yeah.
Another man giving up his temple for you to be able to live. You think Yahweh Shai died for you to smoke weed?
No.
Niggas was smoking weed before he came, and they smoked after. He didn't die for you to smoke weed. Like you got to conceptualize that. Did Christ come to liberate us to smoke weed? And to like, oh, Christ died for me to eat pork. Christ died for me to be an adulterer. Christ died for me to celebrate 4th of July. He died for me to celebrate Halloween. No, he didn't die for that. You know why he didn't die for that? Because our people were committing those follies hundreds of years before he came. He died so you could not have to die for doing that. That's why he died. That's why he gave up his temple. So you didn't have to die for smoking weed back in the day. Right? He died so you didn't have to die for committing adultery. So you didn't have to die for eating pork. That's why he died. Not for you to light up.
Right.
Read on.
Therefore, glorify God in your body.
He said do what?
Glorify God in your body.
Now I want you to line up 10 weed smokers in your mind. How do they glorify the Most High in their body when half the time they want to sleep and eat?
Right.
And get tatted, okay?
It's true.
Yeah.
That's what they want?
Yeah.
They get high and they want to go get tattoos?
Look at Wiz Khalifa.
So let me get high and then go punish my body?
Look at Wiz Khalifa.
Wow.
See my point? You see how, like, I'm going to use the word, you see how retarded that sounds?
It is.
Like, I want to go get high, eat, and then go get tattoos.
Yeah.
Wow. That's why Christ died? For you to get tattoos and just eat a bunch of junk food? Think about it. It's sad because you got Esau. They'll smoke their little weed and then they'll go eat a good meal at home.
Yep.
They'll go eat a good cooked meal. And us, we'll smoke weed and run to the Popeyes and the corner store. Right?
Jack in the Box.
And Jack in the Box.
To literally get the munchie menu.
Yeah, they got or you run to Wendy's. I used to hang out with weed smokers. That dollar menu was on tap.
Right.
Niggas getting like $100 nuggets. Damn, you gonna just get the whole dollar menu? Nothing. But think about it.
12-pack tacos.
He said, glorify the Most High in your body. So the weed smoking now leads you to bad eating.
Right.
It leads you to slothfulness.
Yep.
Right? It leads you to laziness.
Right.
Man, I can't, man. Y'all see the movie Half Baked?
Yeah.
Y'all seen how high?
Right.
Them niggas was stuck.
Yeah.
They were stuck. How is that glorifying the Most High at all? The Most High wants us to be moving. He said it's the spirit that quickeneth.
Right.
So how you quick if you're just stuck because the other spirit got you weighed down?
You know. Also, that's why we don't rise up as a people.
Right.
Because the weed has made us so docile that all we do is hands up, don't shoot, or or our chicks just want to twerk, or the weed has made us literally just lazy bums. I mean, I think about everybody that I know that smokes weed. They don't prosper in anything.
Right.
I don't care about what they put on TV with these rappers, with these celebrities. The people that I know, that I grew up with, my family members and my friends that are weed addicts, they don't prosper.
Nope.
They don't.
Okay.
The men still live with their moms, or the men don't have nothing going for themselves.
No ambition.
No ambition. The women, come on, man. Think about a woman that smokes in general.
Right.
Usually that's a turnoff for a man, but the woman that smokes, it's like, come on, man, why you smoking when you got a house to take care of, when you got kids to take care of? Like, what are you doing? So, and can I just quote the scripture real quick?
Oh, go ahead.
It's a Jeremiah chapter 25 and verse 7. It says, "Yet ye have not hearkened unto me, saith the Lord, that ye might provoke me to anger with the works of your hands to your own hurt."
To your own
so
hurt.
guess what? When you look at the Most High's laws, and that's why I said what I said about the prison system. When you look at the Most High's laws, when you do them, you prosper. You're blessed. But when you break the Most High's laws, you're not affecting him. You affect yourself.
God.
You affect yourself and the people that's around you.
Right.
You break the Most High's laws to your own hurt. And guess what? When you smoke weed, you don't get cancer eventually.
God.
When you smoke weed, you become docile and your testosterone levels are lowered,
Right.
and you end up getting what's the one that the women have?
Estrogen.
Estrogen. Your body fills up with estrogen. You become less manly.
Right.
You become docile. You become lazy. All that is to your own harm. And then when you do that, if you get caught, you go to jail. Another easy way for you to think about it: if weed was right. If weed was right and to smoke weed was lawful, and if that's what the Most High wanted, how come you couldn't do that in your parents' house? It don't matter how messed up we are. Usually a child, a 13, 14-year-old child, can't smoke weed in their parents' house. Usually, it don't matter if those parents are smoking weed. Usually when they see their kids smoking weed, usually they get a whooping. Usually something like that happens. Why? Because it's not what the Most High intended for us to do, was to smoke weed. You could just look at it like that as well, man. But yeah, everything that you do, it's to your own hurt. You ain't hurting the Most High. You could listen, you could choose to listen or not listen. But guess what? You're gonna hurt yourself. And that's for the whole book. Not just weed, that's the whole book. If you don't want to listen to it, it's going to harm yourself and the people that's around you. Your kids, your wife, your husband, the people that's listening to you.
And let me say this.
Yep.
I know what you're looking for. Well, there's no law that says thou shalt not smoke weed. Again, there's no law that says thou shalt not smoke crack. And crack is from the earth. There's no law that says thou shalt not smoke cocaine, but you don't do it, right? You know why you don't do it? Because you see the immediate effects of cocaine. It's immediate. It's immediate. You haven't seen, some of y'all ain't old enough to see the immediate effect, the long-term effects of weed. Because some of y'all are in y'all 20s and 30s, it has a longer term effect. Right. Watch when you hit 50. Watch when you hit 60. And that prostate start acting up. And this start hacking up. And the memory and this. And you like, damn. But the problem is some of y'all are still going to deny that it's the weed. No, that ain't the weed. That's just old age. How would that?
Another thing I was just thinking about too is because they glorify it so much and they make it their God, Most High is a jealous power.
Yeah.
So when you put that so prevalently above the Most High, I mean.
That's why when he said he's going to be cloaked about with jealousy, all that weed smoking, all that putting everything before the Most High, he's going to execute judgment on cats. And then you gotta even think about this. Who's administering the weed these days?
Esau.
Scripture say never trust thy enemy. Niggas is running to Esau's weed. It's one thing if you growing your own, you ain't even doing that. You run into that hybrid weed.
Right.
All they gotta do is just GMO it, because that's all it is genetically modified.
Yep.
I don't care what you say or what you think. Real people that are in that industry will tell you. A hybrid strain is a genetic modifier of a strain. When they put two strands together, you're modifying it from one strength to another. When you dip it into THC, then you re-dip it, then you add more THC, then you THC enhance it, it's modified some way. That's why you get so high, and they have different levels of highness, I guess.
It's a strand.
Right, it's a strand. That's what I'm saying. So don't try to deceive yourself like, oh well, it's a great thing. Who's giving it to you? I'll leave you with that thought.
When we were in Maine, weed is legal there, so like everybody and their mama was growing it, but nobody had like back in the 70s they just had their regular old weed. Nowadays, like there's nothing that is just the regular one. Everything is a hybrid.
Everything is hybrid. Yep.
Everything, like nothing's just one strand.
Yep.
It's
No
all
more Reggie.
GMOs.
Yeah, they clown you if you got that Reggie.
Yeah. You get
Like, you got that. I got that swag weed. That swag.
And you know what the
Call
funny
it
thing
swag.
is? Reggie's cheap as hell.
'Cause it's
Popcorn
real
is
weed.
cheap as hell. But you go, and that's real weed. And then but the thing is that our people will spend all our money on this hybrid weed that it just messes you up.
Right.
All you got to do is just go to the hood. Go to the hood and see what everybody that's in the hood is doing. And see why they're not moving forward, and see why they're not prospering.
Trap out a weed demon. This is why it's called a weed demon.
It's called trap music. It's called the trap for a reason. You're trapped.
In weed.
You're trapped. Not because no matter how they try to make it seem like weed is not a gateway drug. Weed is a gateway drug. You start doing weed. After you smoke your blunt, you want to smoke a Black and Mild behind it because it makes the high better. Or you want to add backwood so that your weed can be stronger. Or you want to lace your blunt
Bombing fluid.
with weed. You want to lace your blunt with you want to dip your blunt in the lean so that it can burn slower, and then you can mix all. It's all a gateway drug.
What the hell?
Nobody that's smoking weed right now is just literally just smoking weed.
Yeah.
Nobody is literally just smoking weed. Everybody wants to have a blunt in one hand and a cup in another. It's all about the flesh, and I can speak on it because just like a lot of us sitting here, we all came from it. We all came from it, man. Go to a trap house and see what a trap house looks like. That's where you get your weed. If it's not legal in your state, you got to go to the trap house or you got to go to your drug dealer. Look at how your drug dealer looks.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Look at that. Why would the Most High want to put you in that predicament?
You look like the Reggie. Anyway, let's
Yeah.
move on. Let's answer this last question and then we'll end it. The question was: Is it lawful according to the Bible for a woman to have or is it okay? Is it lawful to have a woman president? Go
If you're a woman,
to 1 Timothy 2:12. Let's see what Paul said. Because if you have a woman president, that means she would have authority over the man, right?
but this is a woman. She said this. She said this is his wife speaking.
I know that.
Oh, okay.
But she's asking the question: Is it lawful to have a woman president? Right?
For a woman to have a woman. Oh, my bad.
No. I think she missed because.
That was me. My bad.
Is it lawful according to the Bible? I'm skipping the word woman to have a woman president because that wouldn't make no sense for a woman to have a woman president. I think she mistyped there. I think she mistyped.
Yeah.
Retype your question, Stephanie. But I'm thinking that you're asking: Is it lawful for a woman? Is it lawful for there to be a woman president? Go here real quick. Give me the one in Isaiah from Pastor Man. What is it, Isaiah 1? Read that real quick.
1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 12.
Go ahead.
But I suffer not a woman to teach,
Right?
nor to usurp authority over the man.
Look up the word usurp. Somebody look the word up, usurp.
It says usurp. It says to take by force.
Right. So, I suffer not a woman to teach, comma. Go ahead.
Nor to usurp authority over the man.
Right. So the woman wasn't created to teach a man or to take authority over the man. Why? Go to Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 12. It wasn't her place. So yeah, a female president would be wrong. Again, if you go back all the way through Israel's all the rulerships in Israel, we never had a queen.
Right.
Right? And the one time we did have a woman, Deborah, that led us, what was the Most High showing about us? Right, that the men all pulled back from their responsibility and stepping up. So he had to show these men, like, okay, I'm gonna have a woman lead y'all.
Yeah, that's why she said, this is to your shame.
Right, this is to your shame. She didn't even want to do it. She didn't even want to take the authority. She was like, no, you're supposed to come do this. They were like, nah, you got it. She said, this is to your shame. Right? Read Isaiah 3 and 12. What's the other one?
Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 12.
That one.
As for my people,
Right?
children are their oppressors,
So when you have a child as your oppressor, go ahead.
and women rule over
And when
them.
you have a woman rule over you, this is what happens. Read.
O my people,
Right?
they which led thee
Women and children, go ahead.
caused thee to
They do
err.
what?
Caused thee to
Yeah,
err.
it's an error. That's a breach in the spirit. Again, you never read through any kingdom of Israel where a woman was a queen in Israel and ruled over the people. That only happened in other nations, right? And then we can scale that down to the house. Why is it not right for the woman to lead? Well, that's not the order. It is unlawful. Go to, what is it, 1 Corinthians 11?
Oh.
But where I want?
Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 22.
Read Jeremiah 31:22.
Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 22.
Go ahead.
How long wilt thou go about, O backsliding daughter?
Uh-huh.
For the
Speaking of the nation of Israel, go ahead.
For the Most High hath created a new thing in the earth.
Wait, he did what?
Created a new thing in the earth.
It was a new thing that was created, not from the beginning, but it was new because Israel started falling off and backsliding. Go ahead.
A woman shall compass a man.
Yeah, a woman was going to come above a man. That's a new thing. Think about it. That's even a new thing for America. It wasn't trying to elect no female presidents 10 years ago. Hell nah. That wasn't even a thought. That wasn't even a thought, right? Then you got little old Hillary Clinton coming along trying to do her thing. And Barack Obama's wife, now they talking, right? But that's even a new thing for America. But see, the thing is, a wicked nation, they'll let it happen. They'll put a woman in power. And what it shows is what type of nation it is. It's an effeminate nation. When you got a bunch of these faggots running around in power, that means that you're a homosexual nation. Right? When you got like the Barack Obamas talking about they lead the nation, he's a coon. So you got a bunch of coons running around. The representation shows you what the people are. When you got Trump running around, this is a devilish nation because he's a damn devil. So if you have a woman in authority, the Most High is showing you this is what your nation is. This is representation of your nation. So yes, it is unlawful. First of all, it was unlawful for us to even vote for someone that was not even of your nation. You ain't supposed to go out there and vote. You're not supposed to be going out there and voting for any one of these Republicans or Democrats. And then even if they are of your nation, you ain't supposed to vote because they're not holding the principles that the Most High wants us to hold. Democrats and Republicans don't give a damn about the Bible. I don't care how much Trump is talking about the Bible. It's such a great book. I love it. It's my favorite. Well, what scripture you like? Well, I don't want to talk about that right now. That's private. It's
That's a private scripture.
Nigga, you don't know no scriptures. He needs to be quoting Revelations 13 and 10. What is it, 10 and 13? Yeah. Revelation 13 and 10?
13,
He needs to be
10,
quoting
yeah.
that. Damn it. He that lead into captivity shall be led into captivity.
That should be on the Make America
That should
Great
be on the
app.
Make America. Yeah, that should be right under the Make America Great. MAGA Revelations 13:10.
God.
This is how we make America great, right? So yes, to answer the question, there it is, and Dawiyah threw it in there right on point. Thou shalt in any wise set him a king over thee that the Lord shall choose. Right? That was Israel's problem from the beginning. We wanted a king so bad, trying to be like these other nations. He gave us Saul, a wicked man, right? And then from then we just started getting righteous, wicked, righteous, wicked. He threw a woman in there. Then righteous, wicked, all the way to now Christ, Yahweh Shai, is supposed to be the king. The woman is supposed to fall underneath her man. Go to Corinthians, 1 Corinthians 11, right? Let's round it out with that, and then that'll be that. Thou shalt know mine, man. Yep. So I mean, the question should be: is it lawful to vote? No, it's not. It's against the law to vote.
Oh.
I don't care what level you're voting for. You're voting for evil.
You know, they push voting on the 12 tribes so much.
Yep.
Because when they see that we're voting, that shows them that, okay, we still got them.
Yep.
We still got them exactly. We still got them believing in the system. We still got them believing in our ways, and we still got them believing that there's going to be some type of change coming from it. But
Yep.
imagine if they didn't see any of us voting, then they'll be like, oh crap, they'll be scared because they'll know that we know that they're BS.
Right.
Yep. That's what that monkey Candace Owens is on. The black vote. Like, go out and vote. Well, the black vote is being threatened because of all the illegal immigrants coming in to America. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, there's not
How
enough
does
black
that-
people being born because of the illegal immigrants, and then the Mexican vote and the Spanish vote is going to count more than the black vote.
Illegals can't vote.
Thank you.
They can, huh? Well, what about the ones that are illegal and they have kids? Can they vote?
The ones that have kids will
The
they
kids are
can.
legal because they're
Yeah.
born here.
But no.
That, right.
changing that.
And I think that's what she's on. Like, the birth rate of the illegal immigrants having kids here as opposed to the black vote or the blacks having kids. Like, basically, black people ain't having enough kids for the
there
vote.
was no baby boom. We gotta wait till they're 18 to even vote.
Right. No, I know that. I guess they're
That's
they're
just-
factoring all that in, but what she's saying
That's
is,
just crazy.
but that's what I'm saying. She's a monkey.
That doesn't make sense because there hasn't.
She's a monkey.
It doesn't make
She's
sense.
retarded. She's stupid.
You know what's crazy about
That's why
that?
T.I. cussed her out, because she's stupid.
That's
But that's
crazy.
what I'm trying to show you, that that's what they're on. That's what they're pushing to our people, to get out of this, to get out of rioting and to get out of police brutality. Vote. How? When all you're going to do is vote for the next killer.
Exactly.
All you're going to do is vote for the next cat to strangle you out, or vote for a different way to die.
Whenever you vote, you show to the Most High that you're not my. I don't trust you.
I don't have no
Yeah.
faith.
You're not
You're
my
not
power.
my
Right.
faith. You're not my power.
Right.
Because that's what got us in trouble in the first place.
Lee Robinson.
Was
Right.
we wanted a king over our. We just read that, right?
Yeah, you
We
put
just
it
read
in the
that
chat.
in the Shabbat class, I think.
Yeah.
We wanted a king over us instead of just letting the Most High rule us.
We already had a king. No, that was, he said, give us a commander to go back to Egypt. But they were like, further on, they said,
I'm talking before Saul became king. That's
Right.
why Saul became king.
that's how Saul became king. Right.
Because
right.
we were asking the Most High for a king.
So we saw the Edomites, we saw the Ammonites
Yep.
with kings, and that's why Saul said it was a wicked thing for you to ask for a king when you already had one.
Oh, the same God.
You had Yahweh Shai,
Yeah.
but we didn't recognize that. So now it's wicked, it's off, it's a sin. Yes, it's against the law
Yep.
to vote for this political system on any level. I don't care if you're voting for your local damn union.
You come.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? It's wrong. Like, who you voting for? They're not gonna be there. Your interests are not part of what they're gonna usher in,
Exactly.
No,
right?
sir.
If you believe in the Most High, they don't care about that. You can't bring the Bible to settle no dispute with a union, can you?
No.
No, this
Let's, right? If your local union, can you bring the Bible and be like, hey, let's go through the scriptures and let's deal with me fair. Don't take too much out of my union dues. And they're gonna be like, nigga, get that Bible up out of here. What the hell are you talking about? This is the mafia.
Religion can come in here.
This is the mafia, right? Separation, church and state,
Yep.
right? So let's read Corinthians and let's get up out of here.
1 Corinthians 11 and verse 2. Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things.
Right?
And keep the ordinances
Right.
as I delivered them to you.
Go ahead.
But I would have you know.
Now remember, the ordinances were delivered from Yahweh Shai to Paul. Remember, Yahweh Shai is the law.
Yeah.
He is the ordinances. He is the order. He's the epitome of the order.
Gone.
Right? And he said, keep them as they were given to me. Read on.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
Right?
And the head of the woman is the man.
Go ahead.
And the head of Christ is the Most High.
Go ahead. So even Christ got a head.
Done.
Even he got to fall in order with the Most High.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Every man praying or prophesying, having
No,
his head.
and that's it on that. The head of the woman is the man. Then everything falls underneath that. If not, it's out of order, chaos, and confusion. And the Most High is not the author of confusion. but of peace. So, yes, to answer the question, it is against the scriptures to that's a double whammy.
Right.
A woman president and then voting for that.
Right.
And that's why the Most High says this is a sinful nation. His eyes are upon the sinful kingdom.
Right.
Because they make sure that they purposely go against the established order that was from the beginning. They purposely disannul that. All right? I'm 64, I never voted. Yeah, you ain't got to, because your vote don't count. You ain't part of the electoral college.
Right.
Our people you gotta know what the hell you're going into before you get into it. Look up the electoral college.
That's true.
And you'll know who they are. A bunch of old ass white men and women. Their vote counts and yours don't. You're just there to fill up ballot boxes and make it look like you have a voice.
And if your vote counted, Hillary Clinton will be president right now.
Yeah, because she won the popular vote by like
She won.
3 million.
Yeah.
I was just listening to that today. She should have beat Trump. Right? If your vote counted and all that stuff. So, anyway, like I said, before we start getting into stuff, research what you get into. Research politics. And you'll see all you're doing is voting for the lesser of 3 evils. Republican, Democrat, Independent. Right? So we'll end it there. Put that weed class in the chat for future reference. I haven't done it yet. We're going to put it together. I'm going to put it together. Watch. I'm going to put it together, man. Our people need it because they fighting over this weed thing on Facebook. I see brothers going to war with this weed demon. It's a stumbling block. So, but
That was the first thing I cut out when I got in the truth.
yeah, like Tazapah saying, yeah, our people don't even read history. They don't. They don't go past. If it ain't a meme, we don't want it.
Right.
If it ain't on Facebook, if it ain't a Facebook memory, we ain't going back. We ain't reading no history. Unless it is this year ago in your Facebook memories. This year ago in your Instagram memory. I remember that. But you're not searching the books and searching it and seeing the things that cause our people to stumble, even in history. Voting has never ever benefited the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man ever.
Never.
In this society, in this kingdom.
Gone.
All right, so we'll end it there. We thank y'all for joining us. Obviously, we're gonna have to part 2 the class, right? We didn't even get into. Did we even talk about the armor?
We got the intro.
Right. That was a good intro, right?
Gone.
And we know that weed ain't the armor, right? You can't put the armor of weed on because that ain't gonna do nothing for you. That gonna burn up quick.
But look, think about this. Even in reference to the class, if our armor wasn't on, these questions would have hurt us. We would have been shook. People online would have been shook if your armor wasn't on.
I ain't never scared. Nah, we thank y'all for joining us, man. We'll be back on Wednesday. Shalom.
Shalom.
The Most High is my rock. TK. Rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. My rock. The Most High is my rock. In the name of Messiah, the Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock.